Gosh. Got my monster. Sorry, my mother music. One. Hello, turtle. Hello, ultra. Yeah. I figured that would be I think Earthbound's relatively well. Technically, it's Mother One. It's generally one of the safer things to play, music-wise. So I figured I'd start with that. How are you guys doing today? I keep on meaning to play this, so I figured might as well. It's a free demo right now. What? Ultra was really first? Yeah, I know. Ugh. I'm gonna wait like a minute here. My cat's trying to destroy my feet. So, another typical day. I've never played a dating sim before, so I don't know how this is gonna go. I'll see if I mess anything up too bad. I made my uniform kind of like a mix between my old school uniform and the uniform in this game, so I won't like super dox what Catholic school I went to. My house so hot, dying right now, gonna shower soon. Oof. I guess good on the shower, not so good on the being in the sauna. Ugh. Never played a dating sim. Newgrounds had fun ones. I thought like Newgrounds is where you went for like Castle Crashers and stuff. The only other like dating sims that sounded like interesting to me was like the one where you date pigeons, because apparently it turns into like a totally different kind of game. And then there's also like Doki Doki, which I never played either. I don't know if that one's dangerous though, because I think they can like look through like your files and guess what your name is. I think I got rid of everything that was because this is my dude's old computer. I think I got rid of everything with his name on it. I think. Yeah, and I only really use my VTuber name on here, so would probably be fun. I don't know. And model having a uniform is so cool. Thank you. I went and messed with Reroid again and tried to mess with the colors the best I could to get close enough. It didn't have a best option, so blazer it is. And besides, my school had a blazer, so it fits. Okay. Let's get into it properly, I guess. What's the encyclopedia? Or do you get this later? Oh, encyclopedia. Oh, bunny people. Nephilim. Succubus, incubus. A cult. Oh boy. This should be interesting. WV just needs Helga Pataki makeup? What do you mean? Like a unibrow? Or like when she put on like too much makeup? Nephilim be fun? It should be interesting. Those are like the giants. I think they said that the Goliath was the Nephilim. Oh. Oh, we're starting ads, so I might as well, I guess we'll wait. I didn't realize how, like, often the ads go off, I guess. At least on the Twitch side. So, maybe I'll wait a second and look at that. Yeah, okay, like when Helga put on makeup one time. Well, wasn't that, like, just she was, like, caked in makeup? I never put on makeup. Except for, like, my wedding. Otherwise, like, never. Okay. I'll wait for the bot to tell me that we're good to go, and then we'll be good to go. Oof. Okay, is it done? Not yet, no. Like, super conscious about ads now. So, let's see. I think she's a dragon. She's a succubus. She's slime. I feel like I'm gonna identify with her because she also has bags under her eyes, and I heard her descriptor was being lazy and nerdy, and it's like, that's me. Just me. She's a harpy, I think, and she's a vampire. So I don't know if who we're gonna try to romance, or if we're all just gonna try to go through the story normally. But we'll see. Welcome to the demo of Wholesome Monster Girl Academia. Okay. All of the written content for the demo is finished, but there is always room for more scenes in the future and any missed grammar corrections. Please enjoy reading and let me know of any bugs, inconsistencies, or any constructive criticism you have. Okay. If you want to follow for updates, check us out on Twitter at WholesomeMGA or follow the developer, Triomic. I can't say things. We also have a Discord channel here. Oh. And wishlist this game on Steam if it seems like your kind of game. This link won't close the game, but will open up your Steam client if it is installed. Huh. Bad news, Vera? I'm watching with my mom? Why was that bad news? Let's begin. August 1st, Friday. The final bell of my first week as a high school junior blares through the hallways. Hi, Asia's mom. Yeah, hi, Asia's mom. My ears are soon filled with hundreds of simultaneous conversations from students all over the school. I shove my books into my backpack and rush out of the classroom, believed to be free for the weekend. I'll probably spend my time gaming, or seeing what my friends are up to. Now that we're super close, not that we're super close or do anything meaningful, but it's still nice to hang around others with similar interests. For better or worse, it seems that nothing in my life ever changes. You're just like tempting fate now, bro. Okay, what's our inciting incident? Even this year is starting to feel much the same as the last. The only difference is that I'm 1 year older than before. I leave the school through the double metal doors and lead downstairs into the parking lot. While rushing through the courtyard, I hear some raised voices coming from the far end of the sidewalk away from me. Rough voice. Hey, don't hop away from us, Cottontail! Hello, Asia's mom. I can't quite tell from afar, but a student with the build of a linebacker appears to be harassing someone. A bunny-type monster girl. Bunny people are a monster person race characterized by their long, furry ears and fluffy cottontails. Now just think about Peppa. They have a keen sense of hearing and smell and are known for their swift and graceful agility. They are usually quite sociable when among friends, often forming close-knit communities. Many enjoy social gatherings and celebrations, though some are turned off by the idea of the Easter Bunny. Here's a question. Is this racism? If it, like this, or is it just stereotypes with like they get along with in groups or whatever? Ugh. Wonder who Vivi will go with, a religious type or introvert type. I don't know. Like, I think the slime girl is probably gonna be mostly me, but it's gonna be most in line with me, but I don't know. Apparently the demon girl is the most religious, because irony. Okay. Looking closer, I recognize her as one of the few monster people in the school, Sophia. There aren't a whole lot of them in the public school system. Look at that meat. What? For various reasons, it's taking some time for monster people to integrate into society. A second, shorter but slimmer student smoothly slides his arms around Sophia's shoulders. I'm expecting them to be cyclopses because their eyes are covered. I instantly recognize him as Dave, the shadiest guy in school. He's well known for his not-so-savory parties that he throws at his rich parents' house. Okay, we're going into the stereotypes, but I'm good with that. It's no surprise to me that one of the football players has fallen into one of his schemes. Dave, you got any plans this weekend? Bill here and me know a good place to hang out free from prying eyes. Wait, are they trying to forcibly scootily poop her? Sophia's eyes shift around uncomfortably. I hesitate for a moment, thinking that I should just let this pass, since there are plenty of other people around. Surely, out of all these people, someone will stick up for her. Despite her shifting hands, Sophia's legs are locked, and her feet are frozen in place. I thought you were supposed to be fast, you're a rabbit. She looks like a rabbit caught in a trap. Oh, okay. I survey the courtyard and notice that nobody else is even looking in their direction. Sophia would probably destroy them? I don't know about that. Oh, Bill's the jock. Okay. Don't be in such a rush. We'll show you our favorite hangout spot and even share a few drinks. Oh no, underage drinking. That's not good. Please, leave me alone! I have a boyfriend! Oh, I'm sure he wouldn't mind if you just went for a few drinks with old friends, would he? It's underage drinking, what? She's clearly lying anyways. Who would actually go out with a cursed freak like her? Quiet, moron! Hey, ignore him. Let's just us go somewhere a little more quiet. I've been told that a man is defined by the actions he takes. And I don't think I can consider myself much of a man if I don't take action now. Well, I'm not a man, but I'm gonna be playing as one, I guess. Oh, his name's Gabriel? Oh, that's cool. Do we have a problem here? Screw up, man. This is none of your business. I should have done like a super nerdy voice. But I'm really bad at voices. What would be like Gabriel's voice? Yeah, mind your own business. Can't you see we're busy making plans for this weekend where we're totally gonna do horrible things to traffic girl? I wasn't talking to you two morons. I was talking to my friend Sophia. It wasn't very common for humans and monster people to hang out in most public schools, so there are a few exceptions. Everyone typically keeps to their own groups. So it surprises these two that I even know her name. When I glance at Sophia's face, she appears relieved that she's no longer alone in the situation. She takes initiative and pushes Dave's arm off of her shoulder. Hold it, I'm not letting you go without having a little fun first. Dave starts going after her again and grabs a hold of her waist instead. I instinctively reach towards her, but suddenly sees stars. Bill, no longer caring about Dave or Sophia, had just sucker punched me directly into my temple. I raise my arms in defense to get ready to throw punches myself. Sophia stomps on Dave's fancy shoe and makes a break for it. I'll go get a teacher. As she says this, I prepare to defend myself against the giant in front of me. Somehow, through my imperception, I ended up with my back against the school building, leaving me no choice but to fight back. He swings wide, giving me the opportunity to duck in and release a fury of blows. Jab, hook, swing. 2 hits to the gut and 1 to the jaw, all of which he brushes off like it's nothing. Now flirt with him? We're a dude. This is a Catholic school game. I don't think we're gonna flirt with the male jock. In return, he punches me right in the eye, causing me to wince back in pain. Thinking quickly, I rush at him, despite his build, and try to tackle him back. Does me no good, however, since he's built like a truck, and he pushes me backwards against the wall. That's what I was expecting him to be like a Cyclops. He knees me in the gut and grabs my shirt with his hands, causing me to panic. I use the wall to leverage some extra force and kick him in the gut, causing him to bend forward in pain. You should do like the Bobby Hill method and kick him in the, you know, the boy parts. However, right as I do this, we hear Sophia returning with the teacher in tow. Here they are, right over here. And as quickly as it started, it's over. The teacher rushes over, having witnessed only my vital kick. She makes an instantaneous judgment then and there as to who is at fault, and had us march to the principal's office. It doesn't matter to them that I wasn't the one who started it. It doesn't matter to them that I was helping someone out of a potentially dangerous situation. All that matters to them is the school's no-tolerance policy. I sit in the chair with the principal looming over me, lecturing me about fighting on school grounds, especially on the first week of school. He sentences me to a week of detention and threatens expulsion if anything like this ever happens again. I shut my brain off to anything else he has to say to me. I'm not going to listen to anything from someone who has the power to make things right, but chooses not to look at the facts. Well, this is the public school system, so this is why whenever I have kids, I'm gonna also send them to a private school. All that matters to me is that I was justified in my actions. I don't care what any authoritative body says about it. I know in my heart that I'm right. I just wish I knew how to properly express that. Fortunately, my parents are a lot more patient than the school administrators, and I'm able to explain my side of things to them. There's a lot of exposition so far. It's because of situations like this that I know I have to thank them for my strong sense of justice. My parents, fed up with how my school handles bullying situations, decided to enroll me in a private Catholic school 3 hours away from home. Wow, 3 hours. It's not out of nowhere that they came to that conclusion either. A local church was offering scholarships over the summer for people wanting to attend during the now current year, and there are still slots available. But Catholic school tends to start like a week or 2 ahead of time. That's like one of the kind of bad things. You start sooner and you end later. The parents ask me if I agree with their assessment, whether that will be the best thing for me or not. They seem to regret not having put me through private school earlier. If only for the education. Yeah, fair. I don't really have any deep attachments to my current school, so I'm not at all opposed to the idea of going to a new private one. Unfortunately, I still have to finish out the rest of the month at my current school. So I write out the rest of my detention and finish the remaining month, keeping my it didn't work! You couldn't scare me! I'm in the zone. On a positive note, during that time, I ended up befriending Sophia during my final weeks. So you said to, like, grab my nose to do this? Oh, okay, I think this works. So this is it, I guess. This could have been done better. No quick time or choices on where to punch or kick, or just exchange your mama jokes with the bulldozer fight. Yeah, I guess so. I'm glad I got to know you better before I left, at least. Who knew we'd both be into the same bands and basketball teams? Right? I never expected that humans and monster people would have so much in common. Sorry. It's fine. I was thinking the same thing. We really aren't that much different on the inside, it seems. If only I had time to get to know her and her kind more. I still feel bad that you got into trouble even after I gave my side of the story to the principal. Don't worry about it. If you hadn't spoken up afterwards, my detentions would have been all day during school with Dave and Bill rather than for an hour after school. Hey, cheer up. At least you won't have to keep attending the same school as those jerks anymore. Are you going to be okay despite them being here? Don't worry about me. Us bunny girls are stronger than we look. I'll stick with my friends after school. Well, be safe, Sophia. And I guess text me if you need anything. Not that I can do much 3 hours away. I thought you still, like, live in the area, though. New fit, maybe? Yeah, I tried to model it based on, like, the uniform in this game mixed with, like, my own school uniform that I had whenever I went to Catholic school. Same goes to you, Gabe. Take care. Yeah, you too. Somehow I doubt we'll keep in touch, but part of me hopes that we will, despite the physical distance. Get some people to call to do voices, maybe so you don't mess up your voice from all the talking. I mean, I figure, okay, here's the thing. It's the demo. So I figure I'll do it by myself for the demo, and whenever the real thing comes out, I want to see if I can get, like, as many of, like, the Christian VTubers together to, like, do voices. And I think that would be really freaking cool. But for now, I'll just do it. Maybe I'll change my mind, but we'll see. Somehow I doubt we'll keep in touch, but part of me hopes that we will, despite the physical distance. She is not romanceable. I wonder if she'll be later? I don't think so. After all, it's good to have friends. By the end of that day, the new school's paperwork is taken care of, and all of my necessary things are packed up. I think I'm ready to leave this school behind. Still, this will be a massive change for me. I've never been away from home for more than a week, so it will take some getting used to. Wait, is it a boarding school? Genesis 6. Sorry, Genesis chapter 6, verses 1 through 4. And after that, men began to be multiplied upon the earth, and daughters were born to them. The sons of God, seeing the daughters of men, that they were fair, took to themselves wives of all which they chose. And God said, My spirit shall not remain in man forever, because he is flesh, and his days shall be 120 years. Now the Nephilim were upon the earth those days, for after the sons of God went into the daughters of men, and they brought forth children. These are the mighty men of old, men of renown. Okay. It is not working. Quit. No, not quit the game. No! Uh, okay. We had one crash so far. I'll figure it out. I'm just pulling it back up. We'll see if I need to, if it, like, saved it all. Need to tell devs to make Bunny Girl part of the game like the other main ones. I don't know if that's gonna, like... No! Okay. Okay, we're gonna speed run this. Skip. Ah! Don't skip that! No, back! That's a lot of opening text, huh? Okay. Okay. Back. Bick, 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 bick. I missed a lot. Okay. Okay. The little lore in the Bible over Nephilim crazy, but it's brief. Yeah. It's a I did tell I'm not sure if they really have plans for the bunny girl. I guess you could maybe because I know they have like, oh, here's our progress on like the main girls. And to say the Book of Enoch had crazy angels and monsters, yeah, but the Book of Enoch isn't canon unless if you're like, what is it, like Ethiopian Orthodox or something. No one else considers it canon. These few lines of early scriptures have been the cause of much controversy for the last century or so. In the late 1950s and early 1960s, mankind shot the first satellites into space. It didn't take very long for those satellites to be used for practical purposes, such as weather tracking and observation. During one particular observation effort, scientists discovered some small towns and cities hidden in areas previously unexplored, in regions of 6 major continents populated by humanity. I think they said it was like demons and like people, but I don't know. I don't know who knows what the Nephilim were. Various world governments powers took it upon themselves to send people out to chart these unknown peoples and to find out how they had hidden themselves from the world up and into the modern era. I was partially expecting it to be like Hollow Earth and then like freaking Wendigoon giants, but we'll see. What they discovered baffled and scared most of humanity. Monster people whose descriptions were always thought to be mere fantasy. Harpies, dragonkin, slimes, succubi, and even vampires were found among various other monster races. I'm scared to click anything now, because now I think that the game's gonna crash on me. So maybe I'll just bring up the the codex later. Each reflecting stories, various myths from the surrounding ancient cultures. Average citizens were terrified. The government called for a quarantine for these newly discovered races. Many religions called them cursed and demon spawn. Some countries called for their extermination. Many monster people tried to fight back, but ultimately they were overwhelmed by the sheer number of regular humans. In an exception that surprised many, the Vatican made a call to action for Catholics in the whole world to treat these newly discovered humanoids with the dignity and respect that any human should be given. I mean, considering that we have like a telescope on the lookout for aliens just in case, I wouldn't be surprised. They reasoned that Christ's church is called to bring the message of salvation to all mankind, and that if these monster people are sapient, they are still to be considered persons first and foremost. Okay, makes sense. So people being who they are, most rejected this message, and monster people were subject to oppression by many of the societies who had discovered them. Inspired by the civil rights movement also happening at that time in America, oh yeah, many ordinary people joined the efforts of the Catholic Church and Christian churches in their efforts to humanize these extraordinary people. The Catholic Church was instrumental in spearheading this movement too, having continued against the grain of culture, even going so far as illegally marrying people of different races against the laws of the time, which I think they did in the normal civil rights movement. Today, more and more people than ever have come to accept monster people as just another race of people, but there are still those who hold such prejudice as to call them cursed or demon spawn. The passage from Genesis may or may not describe the true origins of these people, and it may be true that they may have come from a lineage cursed by God or the sinful actions of mankind. But children do not deserve to bear the burden of their parents' sins. At least that's how I see it. After an early mass in my hometown, was it daily mass? Okay, no, it's Sunday. Okay, it's not daily mass. This is like normal mass. We arrive a day before my first official school day to unpack my bags and find my bearings. The school is 3 hours away from home, so when we arrive, it's a few hours past lunchtime. We grab a quick bite to eat in town before my parents drop me off at the front gate. My parents and I embrace in a heartfelt goodbye, complete with embarrassing hugs and kisses at the front gate. I remain behind while I depart for the dorms to drop off my bag so I can start becoming acquainted with the campus. Okay, so it does seem like this is a boarding school. I don't know how many boarding schools they still have in, like, America. Maybe in, like, Europe. I don't know. Maybe I'm just feeling optimistic, but it seems to be like the front gate has its arms stretched open wide and welcome. I hope that this gesture is a good sign that I'm in the right place. Pondering for a moment, I think about what life is going to be like once I walk through those arms. Academics aside, I wonder how different a private Catholic school will be compared to my old public one. I imagine that there will be some religious elements involved that weren't present before, so I'm a little worried about how all that will play out. I guess there's only one way to find out. I just have to move forward and hope for the best. I'm sure it'll be fine. A little bit of extra Jesus never hurt anyone. As I catch myself thinking that, I hope that I'm not being too irreverent in my thinking. Ugh. Cassia's early, so she could be, unless you know already? Wait, oh, the bunny girl thing? It's just, whenever I saw the roadmap, she wasn't included. I sometimes wonder how the god of all creation sees how we think of him. Surely he must have some kind of sense of humor. Otherwise, why would he have humored us with his presence? Anyways, I guess it's time to discover what God has in store for me on the other side of this gate. As I take my first steps forward, I say a quick prayer that everything will go well for me. I began my trek through campus to familiarize myself with the school grounds. A few dozen students are roaming from one place to another, enjoying their last day off before the weekend finishes. I start to feel a bit isolated, since I'm coming from a different school halfway through my high school career, a month into my junior year at that, which is the hardest year because of all the freaking AP classes. And, oh, it's not just the AP classes, it's also like the SATs and the ACTs. Junior year is generally the most stressful. I hope that I don't have any trouble making new connections. Still, this place doesn't look half bad. Comfy, even. I think I could get used to it. I wander aimlessly for a few minutes, clueless as to where I am headed, when I notice a large, beast-looking man walking in my direction. 2 giant ox horns adorn his head. So is he a minotaur? Don't mean to stare, but it really is imposing at first glance. Besides this, I notice that he is dressed in priestly garb. Okay, he must be the chaplain, Father John. While he approaches me, I wonder to myself if I should ask him for directions. Surely he'd be the one to ask for guidance around here. And almost as if he could read my mind, he asked me before I even have a chance. So far everyone in the game looks pretty. I'll say that. Hey there, friend. You look like a lost sheep. Can I help you find your way? It's meta.
Yes, Father, I am transferring here as a junior. I just arrived today, and I was looking to find my bearings.
Well, fortunately for you, it's my job to help the lost find their way. By the way, I'm Father John. I'm the chaplain here at St. Thomas Aquinas High School. I guess the Dominican would make sense for a teaching school.
Yes, sir, I kind of guessed from the descriptions I've heard of you. No offense.
Haha, none taken. I know I'm kind of hard to miss. Anyways, it's nice... Oh, sorry.
Anyways, it's nice to meet you. My name is Gabriel, though most people just call me Gabe.
A messenger of God in need of guidance, then. How ironic! Yeah, because it's... Angel just means messenger. And Gabriel is one of the most famous angels, if not the most famous angel, other than maybe Michael, I guess. I think you're in luck, because a reliable servant of the Lord has appeared to us. Father John gestures behind me to a monster boy, who at first glance seems tired and unkempt. This is Damien. Oh, okay, he's a vampire. He's not the Antichrist, he's a vampire. He's in your grade and a student council member to boot. Damien, would you mind terribly showing Gabe around campus? He's new here and needs someone to show him around. I don't mind. He raises his hand in a short, motionless wave. Yo, I'm Damien, Daywalker, if you couldn't tell. I do likewise, awkwardly copying his short wave while responding.
I'm Gabe, human.
I wanted to make a joke about me also walking around during the day, but I still don't know how people might react to unsolicited jokes about their monster race. Well, it was nice to meet you, Gabe, but if you don't mind.
Not at all. Sorry for keeping you. I'm sure that you're still pretty busy on Sundays, even after Mass.
Indeed I am. The work of a priest is never done. Very true. Best of luck finding your bearings, Gabe. Make sure to come by the chapel sometime in the evening if you're ever in need of spiritual guidance or need confession heard. Oh, you have confession in the game, I guess? That should be interesting. Of course, I'm always available in case of emergencies. Anyways, welcome to St. Thomas. Specifically Aquinas, not the Apostle. We're now left in the Daywalker's care. Damien looks like he needs to be bullied. No! Damien seems great. What do you have against Damien? He also has bags under his eyes. Bags under his eyes squad, okay? And now left in the Daywalker's care. Although Damien sure doesn't look like he has the energy to do anything but sleep, much less lead me anywhere. So you're a junior too. What made you come to St. Thomas High?
It's a long story. The short version is that I got in a fight defending someone else, and my parents and I had a different perspective on the topic of justice than the school did.
Oh yeah? Sounds complicated. So what have you seen around school so far?
Just the front gate and here.
Great, let's head towards the most popular lunch hangout. Then we can head inside so you can see where our classes are held. I have some business around here and elsewhere, so I'll get it done while showing you around.
Thanks, and sorry for the inconvenience.
Oh, that's what I always say whenever anyone meets me, is sorry for the inconvenience. Or at least in emails. Don't sweat it. It's my job to make sure all students are taken care of as a student council member. So their student council actually does stuff? Did anyone else's student council, like, actually do stuff? Because my student council, I don't think they did anything. I think they just put it on their resume. I don't think that they really did anything. I can't think of anything that they did. Oh well. Looks like I ran into a bigwig around here. Though he doesn't look the type. He must do a lot of good for the school to have a chaplain rely on him like this. But Damien at the helm, I follow him to our next destination.
I'm the milkman. My milk is delicious.
Sometimes I forget how loud the milkman is. I need to play more Psychonauts. Maybe at some point, I don't know. It takes up space on my computer. Don't say sorry, Vivi. You say you're welcome for gracing them with your presence? No. I'm sorry for burdening them with my presence. We arrive at an open field with oak trees and picnic tables arranged near one another. The area is filled with students, the most prominent of which are a group of cheerleaders, chanting synchronized cheers. Try to keep a steady pace with Damien, but I struggle to keep up as he makes a surprisingly quick beeline to the cheerleaders. See a ladies' band? Probably not. By the time I catch up, the routine is finished, and Damien starts talking to what looks like the head cheerleader. Unlike at my old school, I notice a lot of diversity amongst the group. Half of them are ordinary humans, but the other half are monster girls. The blue-feathered bird-type monster girl sneaks away from the group, while I'm idling by myself waiting for Damien.
Dehydrated bitch.
I just drank water. I'll drink some more, I guess. She must be a harpy. Didn't they... were they like sirens where they'd also like sing you to your death? Or did they just like rip you apart as bird girls? I forget exactly what they did. I think they're Greek, right? If this game is using student council like animes, then they do a lot. Managing other clubs' budgets and stuff like that. I'm just asking, like, in, like, reality. Maybe it's more of a thing just in Japanese culture. But, I doubt that this is set in Japan, considering that, how the Japanese went with, missionary efforts. They were tended to be pretty brutal. And then most of the Catholics ended up being in Nagasaki. And then you know what happened to Nagasaki. So, not a huge presence in Japan.
Hey, just wondering if you got your photos printed?
Logos minted.
I still have no idea what that means. I haven't heard much about them except what was told in ancient legends. Oh wait. Wait. Stop it! I don't know if I should wait. Turtle? No. Bro, no. Like, even as a joke, I don't think I like that. There. I'll wait for the ads to pass, and then I'll... So... Oh! You know what? That's clever. Okay, the mascot is an ox. Because St. Thomas Aquinas was known as the dumb ox. Because he was, like, kind of a big guy. And before people knew that he was, like, a freaking genius, everyone thought he was dumb. So, okay, so that's why... Okay. I get it. That's clever. That's cute. That's why. Okay. Okay. I don't know if there's, like, really any meaning to the green. Because green is mainly, like, associated with, like, nature and stuff whenever I was, like... I was looking at icons a little bit and, like, their color symbolism because of the video I was working on. Still working on it. I'm scared of my own voice. Ow! Ow! Stop! No! Bad! Bad! No! No! Bad! No! But yeah, no. People in Nagasaki did not... Ow! Did not deserve it. I'll say that. But yeah, and cute reference to St. Thomas Aquinas. Let's continue. Mostly that they used to pick up random travelers and kidnap them with their sharp, imposing talons. This harpy's short, brightly colored hair and her light blue feathers lower the intimidation factor by at least half. Is it like her natural hair color? Because generally at my school you weren't allowed to dye it, unless if it was like natural colors. I'm assuming this is her natural colors. As if she weren't already coming closer, I'd say she looked very approachable. Those old tales can't be true, can they? Sarah. Is that how you say it? Sarah spelled it interesting. Hey there, I haven't seen you around here before. I'm Sarah.
Oh, hey, I'm Gabe, as in Gabriel.
I reached my hand out to greet her before realizing that it might be awkward to grasp at a harpy's talons. Well, they didn't look mostly human-ish. Her hand reaches mine before I can stop myself, and despite how it looks, the inside of her palm is surprisingly soft and her grip gentle. Nice to meet you. So am I right? Are you new here?
Yeah, I'm a junior. I came from a little town 3 hours away.
A junior, huh? Me too. What brings you all the way out here? I figure I'll have to repeat this a few times, so I quickly invent a way to summarize it for anyone that wants to know.
Long story short, I got in a fight defending someone at school, and they had a no-tolerance policy in place.
Oh, scary! A ruffian or a knight in shining armor. You'll have to spill the details later. You know, she's got the anime sparkles. Though a little bit more Steven Universe sparkles. I don't want to insult this, though.
Yeah, well, no. So this is a popular hangout during lunch hours, huh?
Oh yeah, it's where I usually catch up with all the latest gossip. Talk with all my friends. Of course, there's an inside cafeteria as well, which is nice for when it's raining. The food's okay too, I guess. If you want to find someone during lunch or after school, this is the most likely place that you'll find them. Just the Damien cuts in. They should have given you choices speaking here? Well, here's the thing. This is the demo, so I'm assuming there's going to be more interactivity whenever the actual game comes out. But right now, it's just a free demo. Hey Gabe, I'm done in this area. Let's go to the next place. If not, if it's not gonna be more interactive, then I guess we can let the devs know. Again, they had their socials at the beginning here.
Alright, nice to meet you, Sarah. Guess I'll see you tomorrow.
Yep, nice to meet you too. Sarah skips back to her squad members, bouncing on her feet with every step. You think that the rabbit would be the cheerleader? That harpy, okay. Next up, our classroom. There are just a few things I need to get from there before we continue on. I wonder if they're gonna do, like, inverse symbolism with a lot of them. So instead of, like, kidnapping people, she's approachable. I don't know if that's, like, the same... I figure that maybe there'll be multiple irony and, like, all their stuff, but I don't know.
Lead the way!
We entered the building together and walked down a long hallway. Poster boards and lockers lined the walls, interrupted by doors and even intervals that lead to various classrooms. Damien stops in front of one of the rooms and reaches for the doorknob. You know what, I should probably save. Just in case it breaks. Can I save? Is it possible? I don't know if I can even save. I don't think I can. Yeah, I don't think I can, unless there's a button or something. The vampire gives you blood rather than taking it? Yeah, she's like a blood donor, I could see that. Damien stops in front of one of the rooms and reaches for the doorknob. Oi! Oi, man! I'm assuming it's Cassio. Cassio! This is... Really?
It's pizza! Not sure how much dicks you can handle? No sweat. Because even our smallest dicks are 10 inches long! Pardon? There's a bunch of dicks at your door. We deliver. So get off your computer.
Stop it!
And eat dicks. For
No.
more information, click here. It's big and it's gooey.
Pass
It's saucy
it out.
and it's chewy. What's in my mouth? It's gotta be.
Bro, no! Tried to be appropriate. We're trying to be say-so here. Why do we have to... Oh, well. This is our homeroom. We have about 20 students this year, including you, and about half are monster people. Wow, even my school was bigger. Wait, how did they get the money for a cafeteria and, like, a boarding school? How? My school had, like, what was it, like 100 people? I think it was like 100 people per like, year. And, yeah, they, even then, we didn't have, like, funding for much. Like, our cafeteria was very small. We couldn't really fit everyone in there. I don't know. Thanks. I tried to base it off of the game, plus a little bit of my own school uniform whenever I went.
Skill issue.
Yes. I mean, yeah, that's the one thing about private schools. Generally, we don't have as much money as public schools. Or maybe, okay, is just the homeroom have 20 students? Maybe? I don't know.
That's a lot more monster people than we had at my public school, but less students overall.
Yeah, it makes sense. That's a pretty typical difference between public and private schools. Schools have thousands of kids each year, Vivi. And we're talking about... We're talking about private schools. We're not talking about public schools where they have huge numbers. My school was small. Besides the fact that not a lot of us feel like we've fit in at the public schools, private schools often have a better student-teacher ratio. Oh yeah, no, definitely. Definitely. I'll wait for GLaDOS. GLaDOS!
Dan2348.
Oh wait, no, it's
asked me,
Arby's. Sorry, it's Arby's.
how has VV streams been? I have not been to one since April. Oh, you know, just the usual chaos that comes with dating. Sim games featuring monster girls. Because who wouldn't want to combine wholesome romance with bizarre creatures, right? Very normal. You've missed a lot of wild antics and probably some questionable choices, but hey, you can always catch up. And remember, we have the meats.
I was not drunk. I just had like I had like part of a margarita. I was not drunk for the karaoke stream, okay? I'm still feeling pretty nervous about the new school, so I decided to probe him about it some more. I wonder if there's not going to be any choices in the demo. Lightweight? I didn't... Oh, gosh. Maybe being Yaru? What?
Dicks!
Oi! Stop it! What else do you think?
Can you read? What are you, stupid?
What else do you think might be different about the school that I might have to get used to?
He pauses for a moment and thinks to himself. I can't know for sure, but it feels like he's already taking my questions seriously here. It's almost like he can detect how nervous I am. Even or a misfit, huh? And I
Hey, just wondering if you got your photos printed?
Logos binted?
What?
Gonna commission an artist to make Vivi a Garyu? What? What does that mean? Can someone explain to me what that means? It's probably not all that different here, to be quite honest, except that human and monster people interactions feel quite natural. Most people are friendly enough with each other, but as far as negative incidents go, honestly, it still happens on occasion, but it feels pretty rare to me. Personally, no one ever bothers me about it, but I'm pretty easygoing as it is. There will always be some isolated incidents, of course. Private schools can sometimes lead to elitism among wealthier students if the school doesn't stomp it out. Oh. Why do you always bring up that freaking... Is that the freaking, like, torture thing that you guys keep telling me about? Why? Makes me wonder if Sophia, as really all monster people, would fare better at a school like this. I guess I'll find out this year, one way or another. You don't seem too bothered to be around monster people for someone who came from a public school. What do you think gave you a different perspective? Honestly, I hadn't put much direct thought into it before. It always felt natural to accept others for who they are, and not just by their appearance alone. Usually.
I don't know for sure, but I was raised Catholic, so maybe that? There's always a fair mix of people in the pews at Mass. At least, Even if there are more humans than monster people.
Fair enough. So, are you a cradle Catholic then?
Huh?
Born and raised.
Oh yeah, I guess I am then.
I mean, I'm not super religious or anything. I just never really felt like I've had a really deep connection with God like others seem to. Well, that tends to be the thing with cradle Catholics. It tends to... You kind of need to actually engage. And a lot of cradle Catholics sometimes... Well, not a lot, but there is like an issue. Well, cradle Catholics don't really know their faith that much. Whereas those who convert generally are a lot more knowledgeable about it, because they did all the research to see which church to go to, you know? Mom looks like the girl. Kind of, I guess. Boy. It's not like I don't believe. It just feels like I'm missing something. You don't have to tell him all that, though. We've only just met, after all. So I guess that means you've been through all your sacraments, right? Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, baptism, confession, communion, and confirmation. The most recent being confirmation, of course.
Yeah, was generally like sophomore year? Of course. All that's left now is holy orders or marriage, and anointing of the sick, but hopefully that's a long way off. Yeah? Total saying Vivi looks like a femboy. What?
Yeah, right.
It seems he takes religion pretty seriously. Meanwhile, I barely remember anything from the faith formation classes we had every Wednesday for the few years leading up to confirmation. Oh, you actually had years. I mean, I guess I had like 2 years, but I really feel like the confirmation classes could probably be buffed up a bit. Especially coming from Catholic school and going to confirmation classes, and it's like they don't know anything. Or at least the students. It's like, oh gosh. They barely know their faith like at all. And it's concerning. I feel like if they had taught us things like why we should even bother going to church on Sundays, it would have absorbed it better. Yeah, no, that's one of my main issues with confirmation classes. I feel like they don't really do a great job, but again, it's generally always like teenagers kind of like forced to go by their parents, so it's trying to... You need someone who wants to learn in the first place. So if anything, it should like open up a conversation to start learning if they're actually interested, but I don't know. Especially nowadays with, like, super secular world, I don't know. After all, if there's no point to physically going to church, can't we just be spiritually close to God through prayer? He's all around us, after all. Anyways, I guess we should get going now. David moves to reach his hand towards the doorknob, but briefly stops and looks back. Hey, if you ever have any questions about monster people, don't be afraid to ask. Most of us aren't bothered, but sometimes it's amusing what questions people come up with. Even with the little time I spent with Sophia, I didn't have much of a chance like this, so I'll take advantage of his offer sooner or later.
Ah, alright. I'll keep that in mind.
Turns back around and disappears through the doorway. I follow once again. Continue to follow Damien closely behind. He points out a few other relevant classrooms here and there as we walk along. On the way to the library, we run into 2 girls who are arguing over something. Slime girl. Come on, Ava, let me see what book you checked out. I bet it's another steamy romance novel. Heh. The relatively short slime girl is teasing a blushing succubus who appears flustered. I can tell at first glance by the smug grin on that slime girl that she's a troublemaker. Most of her body seems to be composed of semi-translucent slimy material, all of which seems to hold up surprisingly well. Looking more closely, I notice her extremely sleep-deprived eyes and 2 cute little antennas poking out of the front of her hair? This is the one that I identified with the most, just, like, looking at their descriptions. I think her name's Clover.
Woo! Yeah, baby!
Baby, is Necopar the next VN you're doing since you're into that now? Isn't that, like, not safe for work? So no. We're doing this specifically because it's wholesome. Oh, about them being... Ah, I missed it, sorry. It reminds me of the rumors I've heard about slime people supposedly being aliens. I can totally see why people would think so, seeing one up close like this, but I never really bothered to dig into the details. To her side, the succubus, who despite her already bright red skin, appears to be blushing heavily at the slime girl's teasing. She has 2 little horns protruding from her dark black hair, and a slender tail coming out from behind her that ends in a pointed spade. Her solid black eyes are illuminated by her bright yellow pupils. I know that this is like a thing, from what I remember of like Fate Grand Order when they had like, because like the Fate series is like visual novel-y, so like the gacha game is heavily inspired by that too. So why don't they just like show? Like I can see what they look like. I don't think you need to give me the descriptor, but they always do that. They do always do that. And while she is also shorter than me, she still has a few inches on the slime girl. Cut it out, Clover. It's none of your business what I got, okay? I promise I won't tell anyone, except maybe Damien over there. Hey, Clover, Picky got Ava again? Don't be too hard on her. You know she's sensitive. Am not. Clover snickers devilishly. Anyways, this is Gabe. He'll be in our class starting tomorrow.
Nice to meet you both.
Clover eyes me up and down with a smug grin on her face. Ava looks at me with some hesitation, but quickly looks away when she notices my eyes looking back. Likewise. Ava looks back at me with slight suspicion and replies, Nice to meet you too. Anyways, we better get going so Ava here can start on her new romance novel. Ava smacks Clover's head with her book, which gives a distinctive splat and rushes off blushing. Hold on, Ava, wait up! Those two normally get along, but Clover likes getting reactions out of poor Ava.
It's okay, I understand. As long as they're just friends teasing in the spirit of good fun, yeah? If they weren't both if they weren't both different monster types, and assumed they were sisters.
Yeah, it does seem that way sometimes. So, can they, like, crossbreed? Think Vivi play Helltaker be fun too? I'm not sure about Helltaker though, because it's just in general like, oh, that demons aren't so bad stuff generally is kind of annoying, but I don't know. Or like, hell isn't as bad kind of stuff. But, I don't know. Anyway, this is where the library is. When you have more time, you should go inside and check it out. There's a wide range of literature to choose from, and a pretty decent computer lab. Let's check out the gym next. I think this is gonna be the one that I think cats would like. Coming out of the back end of the school, the doors open up to a large field next to what looks like a gymnasium. Outside, multiple students are hanging out, throwing balls, and performing various other physical activities.
I guess Sundays are still pretty busy for some of the sports clubs.
Pancakes is the weakness of all demons. No. Not always, though some of us like to get ahead of the competition, especially her. As we weave our way through the various sports groups, my eyes focus on one almost entirely in sync. In front of the group, a tall dragonkin leads their movements with impressive gusto. Give me... I need to check something. That's weird. I don't know how this thing works. Okay. In front of the group... wait. I just read that. Oh, this game. Is it out yet? No. We're doing the demo. If it was actually out, then I'd probably try to get more people together for voices. Ha! Yeah! Ha! Is she doing, like... What sport is she doing? Is she doing, like, soccer, or... Is it, like, soccer balls? I see, I've been waiting for this game for a while now. Yeah, I just saw like their roadmap on Twitter the other day. It seems like they're making progress. It's quickly apparent why she's the leader. Besides her extremely tan and fit appearance, which is why I think that Kat would like her the most. She towers over most of the rest of the group. Two piercing cords protrude from the side of her head, giving her a rather imposing appearance. Despite this, her sharp blaze implies her sharp wits. Her hair is drenched in sweat, which pours over the shiny red scales on the sides of her face. Alright, guys, let's take a break. Just as she calls for a break, Davy walks over to greet her. What's up, Ren? Working the team hard on a weekend, I see. You can't let a day off be an excuse to get lazy. Let an old day go to waste. Ren glances over in my direction, aware of my approach. This is Gabe. He's new here. He transferred from a public school this year because he got in a fight at his old one. Ren turns to fully face me and looks me up and down, as if to size me up before a brawl. Oh? What's that for? Well, then maybe you should join the martial arts club if you think you can handle yourself in a fight. I want to learn martial arts. That way I can get like a few more seconds if someone tries to kidnap me. Then I can get my gun. Thought it was odd that Damien would bring up the fighting part of my intro, but it makes sense now. A not so subtle way to advertise the martial arts club, I guess.
We'll have to think on it. The fight was a spur-of-the-moment thing. I don't really care for violence.
No excuses. The martial arts aren't about starting fights, just finishing them when necessary. Ironically, right after saying this, she playfully punches me hard in the left shoulder, giving me a distinct smack. She smirks at me as she does this. Just think about it. It's usually practicing here or at the gym after school.
If it'll help me dodge your punches, I might have to.
I say this while massaging my likely bruised shoulder. You're funny. I'll see you at gym class then. She turns to face her fellow martial artists and starts rallying them back to training. She's one of the school's best athletes, not just in martial arts, but also basketball, volleyball, track meet.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition!
Yeah, I didn't for this one. Not just in martial arts, but also basketball, volleyball, track, lifting. Actually, I don't think there is a sport she isn't good at. That's a lot of time. Speaking of which, if you don't join the martial arts team, consider joining the basketball team. The season doesn't start until the beginning of November. Plus, there's the bonus that the harpy girl you were talking to earlier, Sarah, will be cheering you on during the matches. Imagining myself being cheered for by Sarah, I almost blushed, but could quickly compose myself. Dragon Pro Second Amendment, or is that VV? That was me. I was saying, like, I need to learn martial arts so I can have a few seconds before to get my gun.
I'll have to think on that too. I've never formally joined any team sports before, but I can't say that I'm bad at them casually either.
Well, look at a gym class regardless. There's a good chance that Red will challenge you and Sarah will be watching.
I'll keep that in mind.
With the prospect of being staked out during gym by two monster girls on my mind, we continue our journey. We arrive at the outside of the very tall and imposing church. It soars high above any other building around, and it doesn't seem to be afraid of letting its presence be known. Still, it's only the size and sharp spires. It's only the sides and sharp spires that make it imposing. The house of God is meant to be a place of awe worthy of representing its spiritual head. Almost no Catholic church building worth its merit can be mistaken for what it represents. And finally, we have the chapel. Mass is held every Wednesday before school, replacing first period, and every Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Well, it's funny. My school's mass time was also on Wednesday. It was also Wednesday mornings. That's interesting. At least in high school, and in grade school, it was Thursday.
Thanks, I'll commit it to memory so I don't miss it.
Speaking of time, I'm almost late for an evening appointment. I'll catch up with you later.
Alright, thanks for the tour. I'll have to make it up to you sometime.
Cheese.
Oi. So loud. Don't sweat it. Later. Oh, wait. Maybe my thing is... Actually, I think my headset's louder than I thought. He wanders off in another direction, throwing another one of his signature waves over his back and leaving me in front of the chapel's doors. The noise of the crowds of students has died down compared to earlier. I suppose it is dinner time after all. Since I'm already here, I approach the chapel doors, intending to just take a peek inside. The doors shut behind me with a soft thud. I allow my senses to take in my surroundings. The church appears to be mostly empty and quiet. A few steps in, I hear a faint humming coming from one of the back pews. I reverently walk down the center aisle about a third of the way in until I locate the source of the sound. A girl with a long black ponytail and a big red ribbon is leaning sideways in the middle of a pew. She reminds me of the members of a punk band I once saw on TV. The red and black striped stockings and the little skull on her chest really completes the look. She quickly types on her cell phone while gently humming an unfamiliar tune. She doesn't seem to notice me, so I sit down in the same pew on the far away side from her, taking the reverent atmosphere. The inside of the church is adorned in all manner of golden colors, stained glass, and statues of saints. Up towards the front, the altar is immaculate except for a long cloth covering its top. Behind the altar, on the wall, rests a golden box common to all Catholic churches, the tabernacle. I believe it's called the tabernacle. It is called the tabernacle. That's where they put Jesus. That's where they put the bread after communion for storage, as far as I recall. Hey, Youper! Just then, I hear the front doors of the church swing wide open. Father John steps through, heading down the aisle towards the altar. This alerts the girl sitting and sitting in the other side of the pew of my presence. She stops typing on her phone, takes a quick glance at me, then gets up to leave. I make a motion to stand up and get up out of her way, but end up stumbling into her. Before I can move again, I notice that she has 2 fangs protruding from her mouth. She must be a daywalker like Damien. I wonder if they know each other, considering how rare they are. Excuse me.
Sorry, let me get out of your way. I didn't mean to interrupt.
It's fine, don't worry about it. I was finished here anyways. She hurries past me and leaves out the front doors, passing Father John along the way. Father John continues his pace, passing her with a gentle smile until he stops in front of me. Ah, Gabe, you came. It shows a lot about your character to come to confession on the first day before your new school.
Sorry to disappoint, but my motives aren't so pure as that. The front of the church just happened to be the last stop of Damien's tour before he had to run off. By the way, who was that vampire-looking girl that walked out of the church?
Oh, that's Aria. She comes in here every once in a while during off hours. Because she's the musician, she's Aria. Because clever. I feel that she hasn't yet accepted the promptings of the Holy Spirit to accept the Lord into her life, but at least she seems content in the chapel's serene atmosphere. Far be it from me to prevent her from spending time in the presence of the Blessed Sacrament. What she does in here is of little concern to me unless she wishes to make it known. A non-religious vampire in a church, huh? I've heard many strange things, but you can't get more out of place than that. I wonder if she just has a complicated background. I won't judge her for it. Live and let live, I suppose. By the way, you may not know much about them, but daywalkers don't usually like being referred to as vampires. They are of different natures after all.
Sorry, I have a feeling I'm going to be learning a lot of new things about monster people.
Fortunately, Damien did extend an invitation for me I can't read. Fortunately, Damien did extend an invitation to me for open questions, so I'll catch up with him on that stuff later. That kind of stuff later. It's good to know about the people you'll be around every day. Even more so for a Christian whose divine purpose is to witness to all peoples. Anyways, if you have anything on your mind that's bothering you, I can offer you absolution or advice. Whatever you're comfortable with, though the former will be more spiritually effective. It's always good to start fresh at a new school after all. Don't really have a reason to refuse. It'd be nice to have a clean slate going to this new school, and a bit of God's grace never hurt either. It's been a while since I've been after all. I've mostly gone through the motions of going to church. Maybe this could be the start of getting back on track to be more faithful. It might also be useful to clear my mind of any doubts surrounding the fight at my previous school.
Yeah, I think I will take you up on that offer. But, it's been a while, so forgive me if I'm a little rusty.
In that case, I'll guide you along the way. But if you prefer to brush up and meditate in private, we have pamphlets on the side over there. He points to a shelf on the wall with many different informational pamphlets ranging from confession to dealing with loss. Yeah, probably an examination of conscience.
Thanks, Father. I'll do just that.
Splendid. I'll head back into the confessional booth then. You come in whenever you're ready. Father John smiles back warmly. I can feel that he's a genuine person who really cares about his students. He turns on his heels and treads reverently towards the confessional. Grabbing one of the pamphlets, I had pulled the tract and skimmed through the beginning. Boy. Okay, ads again. Nooper, you should add some of the tamer stuff to change it. Why? Who do you guys... Which girl do you guys prefer so far? I'm kind of curious. We've got the Peppy Harpy. We've got... I think most of what we know about the succubus is that she's a tsundere, but in like her description it said that she's like the most religious one. Clover's a nerd, and that's the slime girl. And then we got the sports one, who I think would probably be Kat's favorite. And then we got Arya, who's the vampire or daywalker, I guess. And I guess she's the least religious? I don't know. But yeah. I don't want to do like history or codex or anything because I feel like it'll... Can I save here? Wait, no, it did save. That's weird. Huh. I'm confused. Huh. I don't know how it's been saving. Okay. Okay, we're good to go. According to this, it's good to start with an examination of conscience. It says that sins can be categorized using the 7 deadly sins, which you can use as a guide to determine what you have done wrong. Also, like the 10 Commandments. Greed, lust, wrath, gluttony, envy, sloth, and the father of all sins, pride. Greed doesn't seem to be a sin that I struggle with. Granted, I've been blessed with a life where I haven't wanted for much. Gluttony, envy, and pride haven't reared their ugly heads in my life much either. Lucky you. Though it could be pride to think that in the first place. I'll have to meditate on that further another time. Can't say I've never dealt with lust before, but I usually keep myself too busy to fall into that temptation very often. Plus, we keep our computers in a common family area, so I usually try to steer clear of any sites that might provoke unwanted parental attention. As far as sloth goes, I can definitely afford to be more diligent in my prayer life and increase my acts of service to others. And if I'm wrong about my idea of justice concerning the fight, then wrath could be a concern as well. I mean, I don't think I was wrong to do what I did. I was helping someone get out of a bad situation, after all. Can't hurt to get some clarification on things, so I'll ask anyways. I'm definitely still holding some resentment for the unjust punishments that my previous school doled out on me, however. I take all of these thoughts and meditate over them in the pews for a few minutes, trying to think of anything else I may have forgotten. Finishing my meditations, I decide that I'm prepared for my first confession in quite a while.
Alright, I think I'm ready to go.
I stand up out of my seat and head towards the confessional booth. With my off hand holding onto the pamphlet, I take hold of the door and go inside where Father John is waiting. I close the door behind me. The door makes an audible click. I wonder if I should sit in front of Father John or not, since there appears to be optional according to what I just read. Oh, we have our first choice, guys. What should we do? Generally, it's just kind of whenever I do it, it's kind of just whatever the room looks like. We're not killing the monsters. We're learning how to tolerate the monsters and be like good people. Why do you guys always want to murder? I don't know. I've done both. It kind of depends on how much you know the priest too. Crusade against the monsters? No, the Catholic Church was the only ones who was nice to the monsters. And it would start they were founded in the 1950s. If he's new to it and he doesn't know the priest very well, I'll say behind the screen for now. Choose to sit behind the screen. After all, it doesn't matter if you can see me or not. To hear my confession and give me penance. Begin reading off the pamphlet of formulaic introductory prayer that seems to simplify the beginning of the sacrament.
I confess to Almighty God and to you, Father, that I have sinned. It's been quite a while since my last confession. First off, I could be more diligent against sloth by strengthening my prayer life and increasing my acts of service to my fellow man.
Very good, son. I'm glad you've decided to come back again. It's required by the church to go at least once a year, but we can all use a little extra grace more often, can't we? Plus, we all fall short of the glory of God, so He is here to help us. As for your lack of good works, there are plenty of opportunities here on campus for acts of service for you if that is what you seek. Do you have anything else you would like to confess?
Yes, Father. So I'm not exactly sure if this is a sin or not due to the circumstances, but the reason I left my old school is that I got myself into a fight while defending someone else who was in an uncomfortable situation. 2 sleazeballs were aggressively hitting on a monster girl, and she clearly told them she wasn't interested. One thing led to another, and I ended up kicking one of them in the gut to get away after he had gotten a few good punches on me.
Well, are you confessing or are you bragging? Father John chuckles to himself a bit. I'm only joking. Of course, there are times when our anger goes too far and becomes wrath, but anger itself is a useful tool. When you're using that tool to defend yourself or others, it becomes what is known as righteous anger. Something that even Jesus did when he flipped the tables of the temples. Yeah, That's kind of what I figured the answer would be. You know what we need a dating sim with Jack Chick Arden characters? What? Is that just like the racially segregated angels and like people burning in hell? What would you even do with Jack Chick? That guy's insane.
But what of the whole dialogue of turn the other cheek Jesus spoke of?
I figured I would take this opportunity to get that question answered, since it always seems like a contradiction. Hello, Mrs. Uper. In biblical times, there were many customs that need to be taken into context today, including certain idioms that were popular in the day. In this instance, Jesus was teaching people that if someone insulted you or slapped you on one cheek, that you should invite them to do it again to the other. He was pointing out the frivolity of such actions. There is nothing to be gained by returning an insult to someone who only wishes ill of you. However, that doesn't apply to the case when you or someone else is in imminent danger. In such a case, we defer to the other passages concerning the defense of the innocents and righteous anger.
Thank you for clearing that up for me, Father.
I feel like I already knew that, but I'm glad to know that my sense of justice isn't too far from what the church teaches. Hello, Spoon! Hey, maybe the ratty dating game studio audience, yes? I have a lot of thinking to do about all this. Thankful that he's both knowledgeable and understanding. It's really reassuring that there are people who can give clear and concise answers like this.
I would also like to confess my resentments against the administrators of the school.
I feel bad that I'm doing like that holding my nose thing whenever he's like, it's a confession scene, but I started doing it for the character, so I'm just gonna keep doing it.
I know I was right, but it's probably not healthy to hold on to anger like that.
Understandable anger in the face of unjust punishment, but yes, it would be healthy to let it go. Instead, pray that they will gain the wisdom that comes from God to judge righteously and with justice.
Those are all of the sins that I can recall at this time.
In that case, before I give you your penance, I would suggest joining one of the school clubs, each of which should give you an opportunity to serve others, God and yourself. For your actual penance, I want you to pray and meditate on the Lord's Prayer, focusing on the words Our Father, especially in the fact that He loves us so much as to humble Himself so far as to allow us to call Him so familiarly, Abba, Father, as we are His children. And finally, I want you to say a prayer for the people who were tormenting you and your friend, as well as the administrators at your former school. It may be hard to do, but pray for a conversion of heart that they may become better people through Jesus our Lord. That might be fairly difficult for me with how I feel about them.
Yee.
But I'll give it some thought. Wait, are you guys just saying yee to mess with Mrs. Uper? Of course that's the reason why you're saying yee, isn't it? Now please pray in the act of contrition. Looking back down at the tract, I say the prayer at the end, which appears to hit all the right meanings as it was tempered over time throughout the ages. As I try to focus on what all the words truly mean, I begin to remember some of it from my faith formation classes. Though we were typing to get Mr. Uper Minecrafted. No! Perhaps I remembered more than I thought. As I finished, Father John begins his final prayer of absolution. God, the Father of mercies, through the death and resurrection of His Son, has reconciled the world to Himself and sent the Holy Spirit among us for the forgiveness of sins. Through the ministry of the Church, may God give you pardon and peace, and I absolve you from your sins. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. At those words, I absolve you from your sins, I feel a deep warmth and even a shiver inside of me. Yeah, that's generally how it goes. The Holy Spirit I cannot say, but I wouldn't doubt it.
Amen, and thank you, Father.
Anytime, son. I stand up again, reflecting on the great mystery I just participated in. Maybe there is something more to these sacraments than I've been giving attention to. I gently retreat through the door of the confessional and close it behind me. Still in a reverent state of mind, I start walking down the aisle, heading towards the front of the church to pray. As I pass near the front pews, I notice a certain succubus that I met earlier praying by herself. Aren't they supposed to be related to demons somehow? I instantly dismiss the thought. Even I know that demons don't have physical bodies. Yeah! Okay, cool. The reality is, I still may have some biases left over from the media I consume and students at my old school. She looks up at me, a little surprised, but averting her eyes back down into the book she holds in her hand, trying very hard to evade my notice. I decide to let her be and start to pass her by when I hear a small voice behind me. Hey, is Father John ready for another confession? Turning back around, I see her looking at me from behind the book. It doesn't appear to be the one she hit Clover on the head with earlier.
I believe so. I didn't see anyone else behind me before I went in, besides the daywalker girl who left, so you're good to go.
Arya, you mean? Anyways, thanks. There goes the tsundere. She gives me a short nod and hurries towards the confessional. booth, her tail trailing behind her into the little room. I can only presume what a succubus girl would confess, but I wouldn't be but I won't be uncharitable. Bro! No, they're saying they look like stereotypical demons. The actual... He has a good point that demons and angels don't have bodies, so it wouldn't make sense for there to be, like, a demon girl. Where if she was an actual demon. Allowing the thought to escape my mind, I've hired an empty space near the front to pray and perform my penance.
Lord, I know we don't talk much except during morning prayers, but thank you for letting me have the opportunity to confess my sins to you this evening.
Next, I pray the Our Father, focusing on the beginning like Father John said. The idea that an almighty being would humble himself to create us and call us his children is astonishing if I really think about it. Succubuses also wouldn't have bodies since they appear in dreams. Yet succubi are a kind of demon, but she's not... It's just the race is called that because they look like what they'd assume they are. They're not actually demons. At least not in this world. Or the succubus people aren't actually succubuses, like, technically. I think they're named after it. Oh wait, I don't need to do the notes. I start meditating on all the different parts of the prayer and their meanings. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. When I pray this as a rote prayer in the morning, the meaning slips me by, but there does seem to be a lot more to it now that I'm slowing down. Is this the standard by which God will judge us? Will God hold it against me if I don't forgive others of their sins? What if I don't forgive those bullies that just simply never bully someone else? Is that sufficient forgiveness in God's eyes? I ponder this and more in silence while I think of something to say to God about those who wrong me as well.
God, I know you saw everything that happened then. Father John told me I was not entirely in the wrong for the self-defense part, but I'm sorry for the resentments that I've been holding on to.
Just like I'm not... Even though I'm Hispanic, I don't know if that lines up.
Please bring those people to a better mindset and a better understanding of what they did to the both of us. And help me to always be aware of my anger, so that I only use it as a tool for righteousness. Amen.
You can tell me I'm Hispanic. Oh, wait, what? I hope that is acceptable. I always feel awkward talking with God on a personal level. Perhaps it's like any other relationship that just gets better with time. Yeah, I'd say that's true. Honestly, I feel better with doing the more informal to some degree. I can't improve my relationship with God if I never talk to him after all. Yeah. Done with my prayer and penance, I stand back and prepare to leave the church. Before I leave, I dip my fingers into the holy water font and make the sign of the cross for a quick blessing while walking out the door. Wake of all. Okay. Stepping outside, I notice the sun has already set over the tree line. Why didn't he genuflect to the tabernacle? Oh well. I look around at the empty courtyard in front of the chapel. The daywalker I saw earlier is sitting on a bench, quickly typing into her phone. Just as she finishes writing and lowering her phone, I approach her to apologize for startling her before.
Hey, sorry about earlier. I know the church is supposed to be a place of meditation. I didn't mean to interrupt your concentration.
Don't worry about it. I was just taking down notes. I was just taking down notes of a few ideas that were stuck in my head.
Are you a writer then, perhaps?
Something like that, I guess.
I see. Well, I won't keep you from what you're doing.
Of course the goth girl writes poems and music.
See you around campus then?
I turned to leave to find my way to the doors, but then I remembered that I don't know how to get there from here.
Actually, do you know where you guys' dorms are from here? I'm a new transfer student. My name is Gabe, by the way.
I'm Arya, but yeah, go back around the building over there. Go straight for a while until you pass a big tree. You'll notice it when you get there. By the way, are you a junior?
Yeah, how'd you guess?
You just seemed a little younger than me, that's all. I'll see you around campus then. She picks up her stuff and heads in roughly the opposite direction of where she directed me to go. Okay, so she's like the only one that we know of who's like a different year, because she's a senior, I guess. Younger than her, huh? I guess that means Arya is a senior, or it could also be going with the vampire trend, because generally vampires, live a long time. I still wonder what she's writing in her phone. I guess I'll just have to get her to get to know her better, to pierce the veil of mystery that surrounds her. I set off in the direction Arya pointed to earlier and make my way to the dorms. Finally, I make the turn near the big tree, and just as Arya described, I see the dorms in the distance. We don't actually know how long the demo is. Walking through the common area, I see a handful of other students hanging out and catching up before classes begin again tomorrow morning. I overhear a conversation about the games they played instead of weekend homework, while another is talking about a girl he's crushing on one grade below him. Continuing into the hallways, I look for my room number, 143, right here. I open the door and take my first steps inside. My bags are in the middle of the room where my parents must have left them. There's a note on the luggage that says simply, "We love you, Gabriel, and hope you have a great semester at your new school. If you ever need us, don't hesitate to call. Love, Mom and Dad." I gather my things and put them where they belong. I probably won't remain orderly for long, but I may as well put them in the proper place while I'm thinking about it. I set my laptop up on my desk and my Bible on my bedside table for the finishing touches. Today has been very different compared to what I'm used to. Besides coming to an entirely new school, I've had more face-to-face conversations with monster people in a day than I think I have in the past year. It's not like they're a rarity or anything. I've just never had much reason to interact with them before the day. I mean, it's not like monster people are all that common. The school just has a lot more of them than anywhere else I visited. I wonder if the whole town is like this. Regardless, if I'm going to be around a lot of monster people, I better start getting to know them a little better. Who knows, maybe I'll get a new best friend or two. Damien seems like a nice enough guy. I wonder if he's sincere about being open to any questions about monster people. Considering how important he seems around here, I'd better stick close to him if I want a chance to get to know people. He already introduced me to so many people. Sarah had a bright and peppy personality. She seems like the kind of person that could brighten your day no matter what's going on in your life. Bren, on the other hand, comes off as the type of friend who wouldn't just help you through a tough situation, but train you through it too. Now, Clover was an interesting sight. It's not every day you see a slime person. There must be only like 50,000 or so on the whole planet. Maybe a few more in other countries. I'll have to shamefully admit, Ava caught me off guard. I never put much thought into it, but I've only ever seen succubi depicted in most TV shows as either teasingly sassy or overtly sultry. But nothing in Ava's mannerisms suggests anything of the sort. In fact, she's one of the only monster people I met today inside of the church, in line for confession no less. Arya, on the other hand, is exactly how I've seen Daywalkers portrayed, not the stereotype or anything. She came across to me as mysterious, ethereal, and a little bit edgy, though she too was in the church, so maybe there's something about her I'm not seeing. That goes to show how little I know about monster people. As my mind races over the events of the day and the people I met, I drift into a restless sleep, still not used to my surroundings. The tone of my alarm clock eases me awake. My eyes open to an unfamiliar ceiling. I must have been exhausted last night because I don't even remember setting my alarm. I grab my phone from the bedside table and check the time. It's 6:30 a.m. Oh gosh, don't remind me of school. I force my body into an upright position and swing my legs over the side of the bed. Rubbing my eyes, I start my morning ritual. 10 squats, 10 push-ups, 15 sit-ups. That sounds like One Punch Man. What was the One Punch Man routine? So they explained it in game that succubi aren't actually demons. They are rather a race of monster people whose looks and abilities inspired succubi. That's the vibe that I was getting. Hello, Conrad. Welcome in. But yeah, that's the vibe that I was getting, and that he also pointed out that like demons don't have bodies, which is true. But yeah, I don't know if this is. I know that One Punch Man was something similar to this. Hello, Brown Owl. How are you doing today? I think it was 100 of each of those for One Punch Man. Oh, okay. Or morning afternoon. Yeah. Time zones are bad. Yeah. Might not seem like a lot. But doing it each morning helps me wake up. It gives me energy. Well, yeah, it's because it's the brain stuff. Like, whenever I'd walk to school, I'd feel a lot more energized if I didn't. You doing great? That's great. I grab a towel and my shower gear and head into the bathroom. After checking the temperature for a few seconds to make sure it's ideal, I step into the warm water. Call me weak, but I always find the warm morning shower gently waking me up a lot less stressful than a cold shower full of energy. I prepare my mind for the day by meditating in the shower and reciting my morning prayers. This time I pay a little more attention to the words I'm saying after last night. It's always been a simple Our Father, and any other little thing that's on the mind. Something my dad taught me when I was younger. While your mind is still waking up, focus your will on God, and the rest of your day will go His way. At the very least, it has always helped me clear my mind and focus on my goals for the day. I'm here as a WMGA fan, and I have to say, I appreciate the bow tie, collared shirt, and jacket look on your avatar. Thank you. Normally I'm in a lab coat, but I might as well, right? It's somewhat more, like the blazer's a little bit more like my school uniform because they didn't have it something like too similar on V-Roid for the girls on here, but I think it's decently close. Today's primary goal is paying attention in class, so I'm not left behind. I'm a month behind everyone else after all. The school sent me a homework package before I arrived with the expectation that it would catch me up at least. As I'm meditating on the day, I wonder if other people's morning rituals have any resemblance to my own. Went to Catholic school in high school, and looking back, I wish we had uniforms. We just had a dress code. Really? I've never heard of any other I've never heard of any Catholic school where they didn't have uniforms. But yeah, in high school I had to wear a uniform, and also in elementary school through middle school. After finishing up in the shower, I put on my uniform and scarfed down a quick breakfast bar for my morning meal. It was a unique case. They called themselves Catholic, but have a level of independence from the diocese. Interesting. Don't think I've ever heard of it. It's not ideal nutrition, but it does its job of holding me over until lunch. Well, I mean, the breakfast bar is probably better than what I eat in the morning. I just have like a waffle. Like, you know those Eggo waffles? I just put that in. So I don't think that had any nutrition at all. All the other guys wearily make their way through the hall and out the doors onto the campus. Follow the steady but disconnected stream of students heading from all over into the main school building. If there were rainbow flags around that set off alarms, what are you talking about? As I entered the classroom, I greeted by a familiar face. Oh, there we go. I really wish I could do voices. One day I'll get a crew and we'll actually properly voice everyone. I'll probably call Clover. My school, I don't recall any of those, yeah? But my school didn't have those, yeah? Good morning, Gabe. Did you find your way here all right? Such a bright and cheery attitude that this early leaves no doubt in me that she's a morning person. Because she's an early bird. Yeah.
Good morning, Sarah. You're here early. Class doesn't start for another 10 minutes.
Well, you know what they say, the early bird gets the worm. Though I can't really stand to touch worms, too slimery. Yeah. Weirdly enough, despite being like decently close to my school, I'd almost always be late. Except for like some classes. In high school, I was actually early. Eventually. Give Vivi a cookie for her comedy? I was...
Rats. Where the rats?
Thank you for the follow, I appreciate it. Now that makes me wonder if harpies actually do eat worms. I'm afraid to ask. Do not ask her that! No, Gabe! Do not! Oh, gosh, no! Ow! Stop! No, I'm not Gabe being racist! Stop it! No! Anyway, speaking of worms, here comes Ren. I follow Sarah's gaze to the door and watch as Ren enters with a backpack slung over her shoulder with one hand. What's happening, Sarah? Morning, new guy. Ah, yes, Sarah's second most prominent trait besides crippling ADHD. Worms. Nice.
Oh, I get it. Worm as in, never mind.
Yeah. Yeah. like a wyvern or a dragon worm. But that's fine. Good morning. Have you met Gabe yet? Yeah, he was following Damon around like a lost puppy yesterday. I hear he's pretty good at sports. So I guess she's our teaser. Well, yeah, she did punch us. But she's our teasing one. Oh, you'll have to show us in the gym today. Depending on how good your skills are, I'm going to have to scout you out for the basketball team. Not if I get him into the martial arts club first. Sarah and Red continue fighting over which club I'm going to be forced to join as they take their seats. With my gaze still focused towards the doorway, I notice Clover and Ava entering the room. Ava looks in my direction and shyly raises her hand in a short greeting before finding her seat. As she does this, she looks more directly at me and blushes a bit before focusing her attention back to Clover. I wonder if it's because I saw her before the confessional last night. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. I was there for myself too, after all. Yeah, no reason to be embarrassed about going to confession. It's a good thing. She probably eats rats more than worms. What? Do not threaten me. Do not threaten me. Well, I'm thinking to myself, Clover sleepwalks her way in, but she managed to find her seat despite this. Again, I relate to Clover the most so far. Damien walks in soon after giving me a quick yo with his signature wave and finds a seat. She couldn't love Gabriel if he was a worm, but she certainly hopes he would be less weak. Haha, what? Okay. Welcome in, Sinatra. How are you doing? He looks about as tired as Clover. I wonder if his student council duties extend into the weekend or even late at night. Dude. Other dude. One by one, a bunch of other students walk by and fill up the empty seats nearby. You're fine? That's good. So I guess the harpy girl has a fear of worms. Phoebe, would you love us if we were worms? I guess so. I don't see why not. I actually like worms. Like, me and my dad, whenever there'd be, like, a big rain, we'd go and get leaves and we'd, like, pick them up and put them back into the grass so that they wouldn't dry out and die. I wouldn't want to touch them, though, so that's why I use the leaves. Dang. Almost been updated since I've last played. Really? Some characters just don't deserve eyes? It seems like that's how it goes whenever it's, like more, like, unimportant characters, I guess, don't get eyes. One by one, a bunch of other students walk by and fill up the empty seats nearby. By the time the class is about to start, I'm still left awkwardly standing around near the front of the class. Fortunately, I'm saved by the teacher who opens the door soon after. Getting back to your room, yeah. Yamik's updated the main demo with more music. Oh, he's the dev. Oh, cool. Nun. Good morning, class. A nun in her habit floats gently into the classroom. Wait, would she be a nun or would she be a sister? Because I thought technically you're a sister if you're out doing, like, teaching and, like, community service stuff more than, like, you know, meditative prayer. That's my conspiracy theory about this game. Humans have none. That dog guy? Cosplayer? Maybe. Because when I first, like, saw the jock, I thought that he was going to be, like, a cyclops or something because his eyes were hidden. I think you're the second streamer to bring that up, yeah? My eyes focus on the two circular horns affixed to the side of her headdress, so she's like a goat lady? Okay, who leaked this guy the whole game before we got it? It's okay, Gabe doesn't know the difference. I also noticed there's a cloth belt wrapped around her waist, to which is affixed the rosary. Which is basically, I love the way that, like, the sisters at my school would describe it. It's basically like their spiritual weapon, like a sword. So that's fun. We need Bill to be romanceable. You'd have to have a girl character. That's not gonna happen, Turtle. Guess we're gonna get an answer and let Yavik. I guess we'll have to get the answer and let Yavik, though, yeah. Ugh. Oh, wait. I'll wait a second for the ads. Wait, is that the Yamik? Why? No! Is the ad thing coming? No! No! Oi. Yeah. I deserve the oi. I'm a lot of a mess. I'm very much a mess. Ugh. I try to be, like, more serious with the game right now, so that's why we're not doing other of our normal guests of commentary. Ugh. I think I drank all my water. Dang it. Is it past you? It's gonna pass soon, right? Oof. Why is like live stream off by so much time? Doesn't make sense. Is the ad done yet?
Yes, now finally!
That's finally done. Good. Wait, is Yamik, are you like the Yamik? Like the one who actually like is making the game? Yeah, we're back. Wow. So far it's looking pretty good. Do you plan on like having more like choices in like the beginning for like the full game? Or is it gonna like be more choice love later? You think the mannequin? I know! It's because I was like trying to link it, but oh well. You could let me read for some of them? I guess so. We could maybe do that. I was trying to like if people wanted to know more about the game. Okay. Okay. Spiritual weapon. Continuing. The left hand is adorned with a plain silver ring on her ring finger. Obviously, she's not married, but I had to guess it's likely a symbol of her perpetual vow of chastity. I mean, she's married to Christ, so yeah. The other students quickly wrap up their conversations and take their seats. I'm left standing awkwardly at the front of the class, waiting to be assigned a seat. Yeah, choices up to day 6 or so determine the route, but I'm considering more since the common route seems short. The extended game routes are long, though. Okay. Maybe about to get canceled? I mean, probably. I don't know. I'll get canceled at some point, I guess. Is the bunny girl gonna transfer there? She became my fave from the small bit she was there. Yeah. Hopefully DLC. Oh yeah. I'm standing awkwardly at the front of class, waiting to be assigned a seat. I'm taking a quick note at the whiteboard where the teacher's name is written. Sister Talia. Talia. I think I can read. Maybe. Maybe not. Today we have a new transfer student from a town 3 hours over. Gabe, why don't you introduce yourself? I should have expected to be put on the spot like this. I quickly think of some basic things to say that should suffice as an introduction. I feel bad now that this is my voice for him, but this is the only way I can do voices.
Hey all, my name is Gabe. I've grown up a lifelong Catholic, and although I usually like staying out of the center of attention, I'm a good ways from home, so I hope to get to know more people here.
I finish hoping that's good enough. I could have mentioned casual sports, gaming, or music, but I don't think it would be worth mentioning them. So I'm guessing it's gonna be sports as a connection to Dragon Girl, gaming to Slime Girl, music to Daywalker Girl. Just dabble in a lot of different hobbies, but don't excel at anything in particular. You are perfect for being an anime protagonist, because you gotta be jack of all trades to appeal to every girl. The class applauds in welcome as Sister Talia points me out to a seat near the window. Points me out to a seat? Points me to a seat? I don't know. I owe Gabe an apology. I wasn't familiar with this game.
Yeah, baby!
You need the black spiky anime protagonist hair? Yeah. Really? I'm not sure. Here we have any Bill fans yet? It's because Turtle is a contrarian. That's Turtle's job, is to be a contrarian. Fortunately, it's right next to Damien and in front of Sarah. She gives me a wide grin and excitedly shifts up and down in her chair as I approach. I take my seat as the teacher begins the day. I hope you are all nearly done reading a book from last week's assignment. There will be a quiz this Friday, depending on the book you chose. Most of the other students groan at this news. Gabriel, since you're coming in partway through the assignment, Bill had arms in his chest. He did it. Bill's the jock, right? Did make a bunch of Bill memes, nice. Gabriel, since you're coming in partway through the assignment, we'll delay your quiz and allow you the weekend to catch up. Thank God. Without Bill, we wouldn't be at the school. I mean, it was Bill and Dave. I think Dave was the main leader. Did make a bunch of Bill memes, nice. Oh yeah, I should probably link our Discord. Because it's because I'm assuming it's on like your guys' Discord, but I need to remember to plug my own Discord sometimes because I'm bad at that. Well, you can see it below, probably. It's fine. Dave sucks. I mean, yeah, because he's the bad guy. Only Bill. Bill's better. Okay. I wonder what book it is. We are going over books that our Protestant brethren have written, and comparing and contrasting the many values we share in common. Oh, nice. Bill had a cowboy hat. If you had a throw tag, Bill just got roped into it. Okay. You can pick for one of these 3 titles by C.S. Lewis. Oh yeah, because C.S. Lewis is Anglican, right? Please tell me one of them Screw Tape Letters, because that's like my favorite book. She hands me a sheet of paper with the assignment on it. The books in questions are Mere Christianity, Screw Tape Letters, and The Abolition of Man. That makes sense. I'd go with Screw Tape Letters because that's my favorite. I'll have to check one of these out at the library later today. It shouldn't be a problem. I'm a fairly quick reader. I stick the paper in the binder for safekeeping and return my attention to the front of the classroom. Each of these books provides us with a different perspective in which to view the world under the Christian lens using religious reasoning, philosophical reasoning, and narrative. C.S. Lewis once famously stated, "I believe in Christianity as I believe that the sun has risen, not only because I see it, but because by it I see everything else." What he meant by this is not simply that Christianity can explain the things which we may not know in the sciences, a fallacy known as God is the gaps. Even before I read God of the Gaps, I was thinking God of the Gaps. Okay. Okay, cool. But that, within this one worldview, all sorts of why questions can be answered. Not in the casual sense, but as far as the why should anything matter. It has an answer for every moral question and quandary, and when viewed as a whole, holds no rational contradiction. Yeah, that was one of like the main things that we talked about, I think, in sophomore year of theology. Like the sister teaching us that year was like really into metaphysics, so we talk a lot about like philosophy and religion and science as like they're used for different things. But yeah. And when there appears a contradiction, it's usually due to a faulty personal interpretation. For Catholics, this isn't a problem, since we can refer to church teaching through the magisterium. Now, the magisterium was established to keep and organize the findings of the church as it has been for 2 millennia of its existence and beyond. Some girls just think being a jerk and kind of racist is cute happens. Oof. All this religious theology right off the bat on the first day is a lot to take in. Yeah, I guess if you don't know what the magisterium is. I believe it all, of course, but it's unreal to see it taught in a classroom. Well, your parents were actually good if you learned this stuff. Man, I wish my school offered more robust theology classes instead of what we got. So glad there's a movement to restore classical education in Catholic schools where I'm at now. Yeah, no, honestly, at my local church, more people, I think, are sending their kids to the classical schools than they are to the Catholic school that's closer. Funny enough, the classical school is mostly taught by Catholics, and a few of my friends actually teach there. But I know that they're talking about putting in a more classical-leaning Catholic school, but yeah. I was never offered theology classes. Closest we got was world history, which did not teach Christianity in a positive light at all. Yeah. Generally, secular history does not treat it well. Wonder what the world would be like if basic religion and philosophy were taught in schools, or at least philosophy. Oakley had a great church community, though, so that's great. Yeah? Just had basic religion classes? Yeah. Would it at least encourage more thoughtful discourse? Yeah, especially with philosophy. Who really knows? Think about Arya for a moment, remembering that Father John said she isn't religious. I wonder if she cares about being taught about religious philosophy, or if she just expects it, having been enrolled in Catholic education. Sister Talia calls out to various students about what they've learned so far. Her first victim is Clover, who with more coyness than shame admits that she hasn't started reading yet. Okay, mix Clover with like the studious one, and that was me, I guess. So I would be, unfortunately, glad I was able to get some good books for church history myself, yeah? Sister Talia just shakes her head and sighs. Sarah whispers behind me. Clover is a big-time gamer. She's more likely to stay up late on her computer than read, but I hear she's naturally smart, so she still gets good grades. Nice. It's probably why Sister Talia isn't too hard on her. Family Guy taught me that religion bad, but if the only religion in the world was Judaism, then the world would be better. What? EV equals Cleva? This is, I'm assuming this is a fusion dance? A fusion dance between Clover and Ava? L over here. I can't even figure out how to pronounce that. Probably why. Okay. Sister Talia's next target is Ava, who I thought would act more timidly in front of the class. She instead surprises me with a confident answer. Sarah speaks up again behind me, confirming my suspicions about Ava's hobbies. If you haven't noticed already, Ava is obsessed with reading, although she's a lot more book smart than you might call street smart. Sarah, do you have anything to add to the discussion? Sister Talia, sorry, man. Sarah zips her lips tight. I can practically feel the redness of her cheeks radiating behind me. Class continues along with no more interruptions from Sarah. Oof. I suppose she learned her lesson. Okay, the learned your lesson just makes me think of Linkara. Did you learn your lesson? Takes me back to Lightbringer. Oof. After class, the class pours into the hallways for lunch. I expect most of the students are heading to the cafeteria, so I follow them since I don't remember exactly where it is from yesterday's tour. I forgot the bird chirp edit for when Sarah is startled with Shannon. Sarah's the titular Gossip Girl from Gossip Girl? Ah, I can see that. I know when she, introduced herself, she was talking about Gossip already. Hope the nun teachers hit you when you act up in class. They don't really do that. At least not where I went. Apparently my parents would have, ruler sisters, but, Turtle, why? The menu seems typical of any other school cafeteria. A build-your-own sandwich station with a simple salad bar and a main item of the day. Imagine having an actual, functional cafeteria where there's, multiple options other than if you are on the pizza list, you can get pizza. Or if you're on, the Chick-fil-A list, you can get Chick-fil-A. We didn't have a very robust cafeteria. Today it looks like burgers or chicken fingers with a few vegetable sides. Since I don't recognize anyone inside, I grab a plate, load it up, and head outside. The sun shines brightly on everyone in the courtyard. Everyone is either sitting and eating at the picnic tables or standing around talking to each other under shaded trees. On one side of the courtyard, I spy Sarah and Red at one of the picnic tables, where there are several unoccupied seats. They appear to be having an animated conversation about something. I feel bad about interrupting them, but I don't see anyone else I know around here. Load up that plate. Yeah. Sarah seems very sociable, so I don't think it will be a problem. I might have to be wary around Ren, however, since she seems like she wants to measure up my athletic abilities. I should take this chance to get to know them a little bit better. I approach them while they're still actively chatting. It looks like Sarah chose the chicken fingers, as most of her food is still on her plate. Irony! Meanwhile, Red is responding with a mouthful of her burger. He was telling me that a gallon of milk a day is the fastest way to bulk up muscle, and when he finished drinking the whole jug, he spewed all over the sidewalk. Oof. Red lets out an uproarious laughter as she washes down her burger with her own bottle of what looks like a protein shake. Cannibalism? It's probably fine. It's probably fine. Sarah chuckles at Red's story, then notices me approaching. It's subtle lore drop that they are not related to chickens. Sarah's a bird of prey, eating a prey bird. It's totally fine. Yeah, see? It's fine. I'm about to head out, but thanks for reading. Let me know what you think by the end. I'll check your review. Thanks. Appreciate it. Hey Gabe, Red was just telling me about a guy at her gym who was trying to give her, of all people, tips on how to bulk up. That's the most offensive. Oof. And he didn't even have the decency to try my routine after he embarrassed himself like that. Ren takes another chug of her shake and, with a wide motion, wipes away a milk stash that it leaves behind. Yeah, this is definitely Kat's. This is definitely Katz's girl. He loves the muscle mommies. We'll see how that goes. Awesome seeing devs, yeah. So we hear you're somewhat of an athlete yourself. What's your game?
An athlete, I am not. But I did play a little basketball in elementary school and did taekwondo in middle school.
Oh, that's how you were able to fight the jock, I guess.
My dad coached the basketball team, but I couldn't say I've kept up my skill set. And I only got as far as advanced blue belt in the martial arts classes.
I only thought to mention those two because they were relevant. I also tried swimming once, but I wouldn't want to have to admit that I quit that after I lost my swim trunks during an initial dive while practicing before a competition. Oof. Say chess club for athlete question. At least only the guys' team saw that incident. Don't be so modest. I'm sure you're pretty good at something. Yeah, you stood your ground when you decked your when I decked your shoulder yesterday, didn't you? This seems pretty straightforward still. No choices yet. Yeah, I think he said it was day 6 where you have choices. The only choice so far is like how you sit for confession. If you sit being seen or behind the shade. My hand instinctively moves to my shoulder where she punched yesterday. I roll it around a bit and can still feel some of the bruise she left, but I laugh it off anyways.
No sweat. It only left a little mark. It wasn't dislocated or anything.
Ren chuckles at my remark, eyeing my shoulder as I rotate it around in its socket. Which one did you select for that scene? I just chose behind the... I chose behind because that's generally more kind of traditional, I guess. And I figure that's probably the best for someone who's more beginner. But yeah, it really depends. Well, since you know a little bit about us already, what kinds of things were you into at your old school? Did you unlock the worst ending already? Really? I'm being honest when I say I didn't have a lot of focused hobbies. Gabriel should have had a High School Musical moment when he was in basketball. I'd give him an in for Aria. Oh yeah, just start singing. Yeah, and I could pick one of my minor hobbies that I know these two are into and go with that. Oh, what kind of hobby was I into at my old school? Okay, I wonder who's who. What do you guys want to do? Or should I be like? I'd say video games minus the competitive would be me. I don't know. Otherwise, wasn't very good at socializing. I mainly got kind of shunned by other kids. Oh, let's just do video games.
I don't know. I just kind of played games at home with friends.
The bottom is the closest. Veto my vote because I know the options. Yeah.
Mostly competitive shooters and fighting games.
Oh, you do the exact opposite of me, dude, no. I'm like an RPG person. I don't like fighting games or shooters because I generally more of a one player. Ren perks up at the mention of fighting games. Ever play Street Fighting 4? Is that legally distinct enough, I guess? Bash buttons? That's great. Sure, I haven't played
3, 4. Oh, sure, I played 3, 4, and a few others, like Immortal Kombat and Super Mash Buttons.
Mortal Kombat and Super Smash Bros. Okay. Good taste. We should take a trip down to the arcade sometime and duke it out there. If you incorporate that fighting game spirit into the real world, I bet you could make a warrior out of you yet.
I'm not sure that would translate well, but who knows? It does take some quick thinking after all. We'll have to think over it a bit more.
Our conversations continue along those lines until the bell rings. Ren chugs down the rest of her shake, and Sarah neatly stacks the items on her tray for disposal. It's great chatting with, it was great catching up with you. Ren and I will go on ahead and take care of the trash. We'll see you in the gym class a bit later, alright? I don't know. Ren was picking up when he was laying down. Yeah.
Thanks, and yeah, see you there.
I got up and grabbed my things and started heading to our next class. As I'm thinking about the conversations we had during lunch, I think back to the types of casual conversations I had with my old friends. Never really became that close to many people there. I would usually just hang out with some of the same few groups of friends talking about the latest popular trending show or game that came out. I wonder if I'll ever have anything more meaningful than that, or if is just something that you'll have to get lucky enough to find for yourself. Ugh. Am I at an advantage or disadvantage now that I have a fresh start? On one hand, I don't know anybody that well, so I can make myself anew if I want. Tabula rasa. Tabula rasa. Ready to be molded into whatever I want, or whatever new friendship calls for. On the other hand, pre-existing friend groups might not have any incentive to open the door and ruin their current group synergy. And I wouldn't really blame them for that either, I guess. At any rate, everyone seems to be getting along whether they are a monster person or a regular human. Cue like a fight or something. You're gonna like jinx it, bro. Does the religious nature of the school have anything to do with that? No idea about Vivi's first console and games, as I missed it, if she ever said it. You're gonna make fun of me. It was the freaking Wii. The Wii was my first game. Was my first gaming console, so Wii Sports was my first game. I played a lot of Dog Island and some Pokemon Battle Revolution. And then eventually I got a DS, so I got to play a lot of Pokemon, but I was a Wii kid. I hope merely being a part of the larger faith community is good enough to open a door for anyone hoping to belong. Not a millennial, I'm a zoomer. Surely it is, right? As I continue to think to myself in the hallway, I run into Arya, who, as I recall, wasn't outside during lunchtime. I wonder if the whole Daywalker thing has anything to do with it, considering the sunlight. I consider calling out to her, but changed my mind at the last second. Why would she want to talk to an underclassman anyway? Well, technically, aren't you both upperclassmen? I thought it was just... whatever. Despite my insecurities, she looks up and notices me approaching. This catches me off guard, so I make a bold move to greet her. So, Vivi, as I do here, is your avatar cat girl? The ears give me cat vibes, but I know it's a rat theme with stuff. Yeah, no, I'm supposed to be a rat. I'm supposed to be a rat. I just didn't, like... I couldn't, like, make the best rat ears, so I kind of made them somewhat realistic rat ears. But yeah, I'm supposed to be a lab rat. It's a lab rat. I saw it on the Twitter. Yeah. Thanks. But yeah, one day I'll get like a proper model. This is a free one that I made myself. Kind of. It's mostly just messing with sliders. Vivi's also supposed to have freckles too. I do have freckles. They're just too light. Okay. She also might have squirrel DNA too. I do have squirrel DNA because my dad's a squirrel. Even though that my dude just shot a squirrel. An innocent squirrel.
Hey!
Smooth. She continues typing away with her on her cell phone, seeming to ignore me, but she suddenly greets me back. Hey there, Gabe, was it? Since I ran into her yesterday, I've been curious about what kind of thing she was writing in her phone. She didn't deny being an author, but I get the feeling that she wasn't exactly writing a novel.
Yeah, still making notes in your phone?
She's goth. She's got to be a poet or something. Vivi also can't eat spicy foods. Yeah, no, I'm spicy intolerant. Fun stuff. This emote is tiny, but it's the first they added with freckles, yeah? Rat dude shot his in-laws. Kind of, yeah. Wait, did I already say that? Sure. Not that it's anyone's business.
Point taken, but I'm still curious.
Arya looks back to her phone briefly and starts typing again, as if she'd never looked up in the first place. Song ideas, lyrics, musical notation. I play guitar, so it helps to keep notes when I don't have it next to me. Okay, I can see that. Punk accessories, goth-type makeup, a standoffish attitude. I don't mean the profile, but she fits the bill. Oof.
That's a new one for me. Will I get to hear any of it during music class?
Gabe's being very forward here. I didn't sign up for that as an elective after all. Probably not. We mostly do choir songs and popular music. I was asked to play once or twice, but I don't think they've given up on asking me to perform during class. Oh, but I think they've given up. Okay.
Fair enough. They probably don't want to force anything.
I know she's not religious, considering what Father John said about her. So I'll probe a bit further and see why that may be. You cried in kindergarten after being bullied by choir teacher? No, I got bullied by choir teacher up into 8th grade, okay? I don't think she made me cry that much.
There's our man. There's our man. There's our boy.
What?
So, do you do religious songs? Or, I mean, since you were in the church and all.
Religion and I don't really get along. That BS with Bill. Oh boy.
Spiritual at least, then?
The girl overlay? Yeah, Hasio has full access. Hasio has full access to my Tangia, so he can pull up whatever he wants. So generally he'll do that. But not like RIP, but like, yeah, they're not streaming anymore. Depending on how you look at it, baby. It still doesn't explain why she was in the church. I'll have to ask for more specifics at another time. Getting Vivi lore rug is I forget Vivi's crying in school story. That was almost every single day in middle school. I would cry so often in middle school. I got so stressed out over like all the homework in middle school, especially like this one like English teacher was so disorganized. She like stressed me out so bad, and she would always send me to the counselor's office, which would make me cry more. Phil said Zal would start streaming. Do you think that she'll stream or just like do more like the parody songs? But yeah, no, I had that crying in school story. If there were ever Mardi Gras beads in front of me, I'd cry because I'm afraid of Mardi Gras beads. I cried in first grade from reading The Grasshopper and the Ant made me cry because Vivi's college story cute? Yeah, no, by meeting my dude story is probably my most happy story. I'll have to ask for more specifics at another time. Don't want to push the issue too much after all, despite my curiosity.
Alright, well I won't keep you from your thoughts anymore.
She resumes typing into her phone while walking beside me. Not very sociable, I guess, but at least she didn't shut me down. It's still curious to me how a daywalker of all things came to be enrolled in a Catholic high school. Her idol here is certified married? Yeah, no, I'm married. Maybe biased from living outside of their world. What? Maybe, or I may be biased? It may be biased from living outside of their world, but it's my understanding that all vampires are evil due to how they become vampires. Okay, I can read. I know better than to judge a book by its cover. I'm willing to bet it's more complicated than that. Nobody with a free will can automatically be condemned as evil without the possibility of redemption. Based. Very based. I should get around to asking Damien about that sort of thing. After all, Father John suggested that I should get to know more about monster people since I'll be around them a lot more now. The noise of basketballs and sneakers assaults my ears as I enter the gym. Some students have organized themselves into circles for warming up and stretching, while others seem to have started right away. Sarah and Red are a part of the former group. Other groups of students head straight towards the bleachers to socialize or read by themselves. Kinda defeats the purpose for a class dedicated to moving around, but I'm sure it's a welcome break for some. It comes to me as a surprise when Arya walks past me and takes a seat at the bleachers, still on her phone. I guess they combine a lot of different grades for electives. That means I'll have her in both music and gym class. Also, the bleachers I spot Clover, who is deep in a conversation with Ava. Ava looks like she is totally ignoring Clover while she reads her book. What a dynamic duo. They're my favorite. Those two are my favorites so far. Noticeably, Damien is absent from the whole picture. I wonder if he gets an excuse from PE due to student council duties. At my other school, we used to do whatever activity or sport the PE coach directed everyone to do, but it appears that this school has a bit of a choice. Oh, interesting. Every time I see Idol, I immediately have the Oshinoko opening playing in my head. Just how my brain works, yeah? Ava's best girl? She seems like she's up there. I'm gonna get some water. I'm gonna be back. Someone keep Idol. Hey, huge favor. Can I have pasta?
Yeah.
Thank you. Oi! Okay, I'm alive. Oi! Ugh. Alive. I got more water, and I begged my dude for food. Let me actually grab my thing while I'm here. Where's the thingamajig? Here's my thingamajig. Why am I stupid? Oh, got it. Go, 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 go. Aha! Oh, wait. Pin, yeah, there we go. Let me do that. There we go. It kind of reminded me to do that. Ugh. I'll have to check out the Discord for this game. It's been interesting so far. Metal is a beggar of a song. Look, is it? Yeah.
Drink water, you dehydrated bitch!
Yeah, no, I got water. I went and got water, and then I also begged my dude for food. It's not a Vera stream if I don't beg for food. Guess it's a matter of if I'm feeling more active and competitive today or not. Luckily, my high school only made me do like one like full like year of exercise. The worst part was Zumba. I did not like Zumba. It felt too suggestive to me, and I felt very uncomfortable. But I had to do it. And then the other one was cross country, and I threw up like 3 or 4 times while running cross country. Oh. Cool. I forgot about that. I still... It is not weird, okay? I just measure my fertility, okay? It's not weird. Okay? Guess it's a matter of time. We're doing natural family planning. That requires the cup, okay? Guess it's a matter of time. Matter of if I'm feeling more active and competitive today or not.
Drink water, you dehydrated bitch! Drink water, you dehydrated bitch!
What? Are you gonna try to drown me? Okay,
Drink water, you dehydrated bitch!
Do not drown me.
Drink water, you dehydrated
What?
bitch!
How is it still going? I will not drink anymore if you're trying to drown me. I remember school had us do the Macarena and I didn't like it either. Yeah. Oh, victory. I could see how my skills match up to the Ren, or just get to know the lazy bastard. Oh! Do not try the bang 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 bang. Before I even have a chance to choose, Red calls out to me.
I'm the milkman. My milk is delicious.
I really do need to get to Milkman's conspiracy. Oi! Oh, she's saying oi. Oi! New guy. You'd better get geared up. I'm not letting you skip out on your first day here. Guess my mind is made up for me. But also they wanted to expel our energy as kids. As kids have tons of energy, yeah. I mean, like, we had a lot of PE when we were, like, in my, pre-K through middle school. I once had to teach my PE class a dance. I chose Numa. Huh. I have no idea what that is, but generally I don't know what a lot of things are. Guess my mind is made up for me. In that case, it's time to get my blood pumping and stretch out these muscles. It's a good thing I've kept up with my daily morning workout, so I won't be too out of shape for this. Head towards the group in which Sarah and Red are stretching. That's an older internet meme. Ah, from like 2000. Isn't just throwing your hands up, maybe. I don't know. My, like, early 2000s, like, song that I danced to was, like, the Lion Sleeps Tonight. Made up extra steps? Okay, cool. Wait. Oh, that one! Wait. Is that the one that's, like, used by, like, the Notre Dame kids? Because I think I had a teacher from there who would talk about one of the traditions. Huh. But yeah, okay, I know what song you're talking about now. Head towards the group in which Sarah and Red are stretching. Oh, there's a cat. Oh, and I said this before, but I like the touch that it's an ox. Because it's St. Thomas Aquinas. You know, the dumb ox. Haha. Yeah. Coincidentally, there will also soon be a cat making an appearance, yeah. As I approach, Sarah beams a bright smile towards me. To one side of her, a short cat-type monster girl. She sizes me up. Oh, she's a ginger. That's why she has all the freckles. She also could be like Irish? Like the normal like ginger kids in Catholic schools? Hey Gabe, ready to show off those skills you have against Red? I'm not quite sure if I'm ready for a true test of my skills against Red quite yet, but I'll humor her.
Yeah, you're on. Let's do this.
I look over at the cat girl, wondering why she's still staring at me. Oh, by the way, this is Maya. She's a senior on this girls' basketball team. So at least fanning that the cat girl is Irish. Okay, her last name is O'Malley. Okay, she's gotta be Irish. Leave my eyes indeed Irish, that's great. Generally, you have the Irish, the Poles, and then the Hispanics, and the Filipinos. Those were like the main groups that you have at Catholic schools. So we also had Russians, so that was interesting. Then like the Chinese transfer students. Hey, nice to meet ya. She pushes her fist forward for a fist bump. I respond by bumping fists with hers. Need Irish accent now? I can't do it. I can't do it. Accents in general. I don't know how to do an Irish accent properly, okay? Can't wait to see what you're made of. Again, my grand vision is one day I need to make friends so that everyone can voice one character of all like the Christian streamers. And then we can have someone who can do an Irish voice. For what Red and Sarah tell me, you're hot stuff.
I wouldn't go quite that far.
Don't forget Jewish Catholics? Oh yeah, were they, yeah, I guess. Who, like Middle Eastern?
Rats, we're rats. We're the rats.
Thank you for the follow, I appreciate it. I don't know how to say that. You know what, it's best not to try. It's split into two roughly equal groups. Oh! What's the shark? There was like a Goosebumps episode where they taught about like the shark people. Oh, what's the name of the shark people? I forgot what they're called. That is weird though. Now that you mention it, I don't... All the humans, you can't see their eyes. Right? Oh, is that gonna be the name? Oh, it's my boy? Oh, this is... Okay. I'm put on a team with Sarah and Maya, while Red joins up with a shark boy with a terrifyingly smug grin and another human like me. The human I recognize from my homeroom class, but the shark guy must be from the other junior homeroom. Fortunately, I don't have to wait long to find out their names, as they both approach me to shake my hand before the match. Jack. Hey, new kid, my name's Jack. I'm the star player of the guys' basketball team. I'll be keeping my eye on you to see if you're worth scouting. If you're named, why don't you get, like, eyes? And if you're not up for the basketball team, I've been looking for a new rival in the martial arts club. He was revealed on the Patreon on my birthday, so he's my spirit animal. Oh, nice. I'm Ray, by the way, but you can call me King. Oh, yeah, because... Oh, yeah. Ray does mean king, doesn't it? Shark people lost from Lovecraft stories? I thought they weren't shark people. I thought they were just fish people. Is it Shadow over Innsmouth? Is that the... I think that's the one with the fish people. Oh, well. I'm Ray, by the way, but you can call me King, because I'll be the king of the martial arts club by the end of the year. Okay, bro. Okay, it is Innsmouth. Okay. Okay. Yeah, they were fishy boys. Yeah, no, they were just normal fish. I don't think they were shark people. But there are, like, kind of weird, sharkish type... I think it was in, like, a Peloponnesian culture, but I don't remember which one. Great, as if Sarah and Red weren't bad enough. Now I have 2 more students in 10. I'm probably mean to the very same clubs. Sharks or fish? I mean, yeah, they have gills. I guess that's fair. And they both seem to be vying for the top position in each of their clubs. Looks like I've got a lot of competition ahead of me if I go down those roads. Either way, now's my chance to impress them if I want to join either team. But for now, I'm just glad that I won't have to completely depend on my own average fitness versus Red's superior athleticism. She may be a girl, but Red is still a lot taller and much more fit than me. Wait, sharks are mammals? No, they aren't. They have gills and stuff, right? Like, dolphins are mammals. Huh? Oh, well, they're fish according to, like... if you can eat meat on Sundays, they count as fish, too. Because beavers are fish. So, whatever. They made a pretty banger manga adaptation of that book. Beautiful art. Oh, nice. Oh, you're missing. Okay. Alligators are indeed mammals. Okay, yeah. Wait. No, they're not. They're reptiles. What? they lay eggs. Oh, but then again, platypuses. Whatever. Just as I'm thinking this, Sarah Red approached me again with a proposition. You want to make things more interesting, new guy? How about we make a bet? If my team wins, you come and check out the martial arts club after school sometimes this week. Deal? Sure, I don't see the harm in that. What do I get if we win? How about you check out the basketball team instead? We can settle this once and for all. Alright, deal.
Hey, wait, both deals added an obligation for me. Don't I get a say in this?
Wait, I think I forgot to do my voice for a minute. Oh well. So many silly men in this chat. Yeah, no, we've got our share of comedians. Let's say comedians. Amphibians lay eggs that are mammals too, Vivi. I don't think amphibians are mammals. That doesn't sound right. If sharks are fish, then we're fish, because sharks are older than fish and mammals. What? Stop. But my protest went unheard, because you're an anime protagonist. Some sharks do eggs, some don't. Oh. Alright guys, I know we don't usually bother counting score in gym, but I want to put game here to the test. So first team to 40 wins. Everyone cool with that? 40.
You're gonna love my nuts.
Alright, SEO! Everyone nods in agreement. I have to have a more serious game than usual. I take offense, I'm a spoon, yeah? I expect that they're just as excited to know my potential as they are to play seriously against Red. One of the students takes the basketball for the initial toss-up. Ren takes the center for the team, and I take that place for mine. We look seriously into each other's eyes with a competitive grin, ready to act as soon as the ball is in the air. The student drops the ball low, then throws it up into the air between us. Now Ren already has me beat in height by an inch or two, but the height at which he jumps astounds me. So, does that confirm that Gabe is a white guy? Okay. Not even close to touching the ball at the point where she grabs it and tosses it back to one of her teammates. Chicken flying? No, it's the dragon. The dragon is Duncan.
I'm the milkman. My milk is delicious.
Chicken jockey? Why? One of these days I'm gonna actually have to watch that movie. I don't want to. Dribbles it down the court and passes it back to Red for a layup, scoring their first 2 points. Sports!
Looks like we're in for a tough game.
Don't underestimate her. I mean, I don't expect you to, but she's one of the best for a reason. I like Milkman Milk. I mean, yeah. Milkman's fun. He has a whole, he's an arsonist. So that's fun. Time to put it down here. Please be don't, it's bad. Okay. Thank you for finding Chicken Jockey, Hasio. Thank you for that. I'm gonna put it in high gear then. I hyped myself up and tried to go full beast mode, focusing my attention, readying my muscles, and preparing to win. Competing just takes a different state of mind. It doesn't matter what you call
I'm Steve. I wanna win and Steve. The nether chicken jockey. The nether chicken jockey. I am Steve. I wanna win and Steve. The nether chicken jockey.
Why was that kind of catchy though? Why was that decent? Oh well. Competing just takes a different state of mind. It doesn't matter what you call it. Whatever it takes for you to focus yourself on your goal. In order to channel that focus, I should put myself in the mindset of a famous basketball player. Who was it that my dad was always talking about? Didn't expose that yet. What famous basketball player did I focus on? That's a martial artist. I have no idea who else is. Going beast mode for any species is? So is Hasio the resident meme lord? Definitely up there. It's probably I think it's a battle between Hasio and Uber. I think Hasios tend to be less unhinged than Uber. But they're both up there. Who's sports? It's Bruce Lee. I know it's not Bruce Lee. That's the only one who I know it's not. Should I just choose Bruce Lee anyway because I know it's wrong? It's all. No, let's look it up. I don't know. I'm asking you if I should go with the meme of Bruce Lee or if I should actually figure out who's a sports player. Wait, no, a basketball player? I know about the churros, man. Barkley. A cheat here, since I'm sure the top 2 are basketball players. You get 1 lookup, but you have to choose even if wrong. Huh? I don't know. I'll do. Okay, we'll do that. And channel the energy of the greatest basketball player, Stephen Curry. Would it say that if it was Bruce Lee too? Stephen is one of the few basketball players that openly admits to being Christian and makes it a big part of his image. Oh! The chaos of every new player being hit with the sports trivia. He's not afraid to let his inspiration be known, and has been quoted as saying that he can do all things in Christ who strengthens him. So he's like a Tim Tebow of, like, basketball. Okay. Got it. Or that Kansas Chiefs guy, who I don't remember the name of, but he seems cool. Try to think of something he would say to encourage me to make this game a victory. I've never been afraid of big moments. I get butterflies. I get nervous and anxious, but I think those are good signs that I'm ready for the moment. That's right. Even if I'm nervous about my actions while playing, they're just signs of adrenaline. Greatest is the stretch? Okay, I have no idea. I used this wisdom and determined myself to focus on my shooting. And focus I did, because my next 3 passes are nothing but net. Lucky. We keep up at a decent pace for the rest of the match. Everyone's spirit seems into it. Red is clearly the MVP of the opposing team, as I suspected, but the rest of them are clearly giving their all as well. Our team seems a bit more balanced, especially with Maya on board. As we get into the 30-point range, it seems like the game is going to be neck and neck. I steal the ball from the opposing team, speed past all of the rest, only to see Red charging towards me for the front. The greatest has to be Larry Bird? Why does that sound familiar? I have no idea what that is. If I can make this shot just past her, it'll give us a real advantage, not to mention a good confidence boost. I noticed Maya open near the basket, but that gap might close soon if I don't decide quickly. Then again, I could probably make the shot from here if I try before Ren makes it to me. Bird, Sarah? Yeah? Ren grins at me as she continues her forward sprint. I gotta make a quick choice. What would Stephen Curry do in this situation? I have no idea. I'm giving it to the cat. I don't trust you, Gabe. I'm giving it to Mom. Better play it safe and pass it to Maya. That way the pressure's off me, so I can focus on dodging the giant dragon girl who's just sort of taking me out. It was just short of taking me out. Pistol Pete, I remember too from some dumb movie. Oh, he's in the game Larry Bird versus Michael Jordan. Oh. Swiftly tossed the ball to Maya, executing a perfect pass through 2 members of the opposing team and into her hands. I don't think Stephen Curry knew any cat girls. I sincerely doubt. She readies herself, placing both hands on the ball, and takes a quick jump shot, guiding the ball into the hoop in one swift motion. Meanwhile, Red continues her forward momentum, eager to stop me from taking action. Michael Jordan is a jerk in real life? I think that's a lot of people. I think that's a lot of famous people. I don't know what she's thinking, but she's getting awfully close to hitting me. And then smack. Here's a question, could her horns be deadly weapons? Could he be, like, impaled if this was, like, a different game? Ren's body collides into mine, sending me flying backwards onto my rear and sliding me back forward another few feet. Whoops, sorry about that. Sometimes I get a little too enthusiastic and lose my sense of depth. Okay. Well, this game, even though old as shoot, going for $25. Oh, the Michael Jordan game? Ren continues over to me and offers a hand to help me back up. I graciously accept the offer. In the background, I could hear Sarah, Maya, and the rest of the team celebrating our victory. And although Ren just helped me up, I could tell she just realized that she lost the game. So, if I chose a martial artist, I guess I'd lose? Maybe? Bill was here, he would have tongued on everyone already? I think Bill's a football player. I don't think he's a basketball player, but I could be wrong. Well, good game. Guess the new kid's better than he looks. Oh, she's angry. She's got the fire breath going. Red says this with a hint of salt, but still tries to keep it together. The smoke coming out from her mouth certainly doesn't help her maintain an image of control. If anything, her holding back the smoke by gritting her teeth only intensifies the intimidation factor. Ren stomps off to the rest of her team and starts practicing shooting drills. Bill would have chosen Bruce Lee and decked the opposing team. That'd be great. I guess I should try to avoid making her angry in the future. A second later, I hear 3 people approaching me from behind. Oh, don't worry about her. She could be a bit of a sore loser sometimes. Yeah, when she was on the team freshman year, that was a real problem for a while. It was a fun game, but it does sort of ruin the spirit of things acting like that. I hope we can reconcile over things once she's cooled off. Anyways, that was a super great game, by the way. I didn't know if we could pull it off, but the way you looked out there got me really hyped up for some reason. Wait, what? Are you hitting him? Yeah, when Ren was charging at you, I expected you to fumble that shot, but you proved me wrong. Definitely have what it takes to join the team, with a little more training, of course. Yeah, that game was all the proof that I need to know that you'd make a perfect addition.
I gotta say, it was pretty fun to get out there and compete again. I'll give it a lot further consideration.
You better. We did bet on it after all. Anyways, it's getting close to time for the next class to start, so I'll see you there tomorrow, hopefully. Maybe not that I had any input or agreement on the bet, but it wouldn't be a bad idea to show up tomorrow at least. There they go! So 3 of them head off towards their respective locker rooms. Sarah's feathers accidentally push a cool breeze in my direction as she turns away. By that time, the bell rings and the rest of us hurry to the locker rooms, change before we are late for our next class. After the final bell rings, Sister, I want to say it's Talia, reminds me to puck out a book for the library so I can get started on that assignment. I greeted with the familiar sound of silence as I arrived, despite the chatter in the hallway. I don't see anything behind the main counter. Was I wrong about my assumption about someone being on staff after school? No matter, I can find my way around the library just fine. Do you know the Dewey Decimal System? Might become a problem when I need to check out, however. Continuing my survey of the library, I hear a bunch of tapping and clicking in the other direction. I doubt this game has one, but we go for the hammer route. Why would we do that? No. Would choosing Bruce Lee have you uppercut the dragon, making her like you? That would be funny. We'll have to try different routes at some point. I spy a familiar pair of shiny blue antennae from behind the chair. Clover is sitting back in a library chair in front of an elaborate setup. Does she look steal? Does she look stealing? So all the characters is great. How could you only go with one? I guess that's fair, but I don't think that's the way this goes. Her attention is focused on a game she's playing. See, she's like playing it looks like she's playing an RPG, so she's more based. She's more based than our protagonist.
Rats. Where the rats?
Thank you for the follow, Happy Cynic. I appreciate it. I wonder if the school knows what exactly she's using the computer for, or if they even care. Here's a question. Do they have a priest route? Do they have like a priest route where it's I choose none of the girls. I'm called to the priesthood. Play the game 5 times? Yeah, that's one way to do it. Harem route? That's an option, since it would just as likely make a girl turn yandere, just all the girls disliking you for being indecisive, yeah. Wonder if the school knows what exactly she's using the computer for, or if they even care, yeah. Slime people are a rare sight, so I'm more than a bit curious about her, and whether or not slime people are actually from outer space, like rumors say. Please do not ask her if she's an alien. Please. Do not do a game. I think people have asked about that, BB, the priest route, but I don't think it's in the plan. I'd have to double check. That would be interesting, though. Man, I'd have to replace my, Man, I might have to replace my laptop's charger cable. So attempting to start a harem in a Catholic school. Yeah, no, that's questionable. Maybe you're thinking nun route, since she wants nun? What? I mean, before I met my dude, I was thinking about becoming a sister, but I obviously got married instead, but I wouldn't want to romance the nun. Maybe a DLC if it's enough success? Yeah, that would be cool. Gabe is no King Solomon? Yeah, he's not the brightest. It's because he's an anime protagonist. However, I'm too scared to ask her anything pertaining to her race. That's probably a good idea, Gabe. Not very comfortable talking about things like that yet. Maybe I'll ask Damien later, since he seems open to such questions. Instead, I guess I'll just have to see what she's up to. I haven't played many games recently, so I can seek her opinion for something new.
Hey!
Looking back at me, Clover greets me with a short wave. Sorry, Turtle, the nun's already married to Jesus. Yo!
What are you up to over here? Saving the world from the powers of darkness?
That and more. I look over Clover's shoulders at her monitors. The main one hosts the main game she appears to be playing. I mean, like, he wouldn't make a harem. You know, King Solomon had roughly 1,000 wives. Yeah, well, a lot of the Old Testament kings had a frickin' bunch of wives. That's part of what got Solomon into trouble, is that he got a bunch of pagan wives. Can't stay for too long? Well, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. The main one hosts the main game she appears to be playing. The other is showing multiple smaller windows filled with flashy graphics. Some of them even appear to be playing themselves. Sarah's right this morning. Clover really is an intense gamer. Were you late for some folks? Yeah. I'm not sure when I'm gonna stop today. Maybe at 3 hours? So maybe in like 30 minutes?
The setup is pretty impressive, considering you're only using the school's computers.
Yeah, I had to do some tweaking to get it to work, but I needed a screen for each of my monitors back at home. That way I can multitask here at school until my dad comes and picks me up. See, she also has a close relationship with her dad. If we have a voicing thing, if I can get people to voice things, I call Clover. I don't know well, maybe I don't fit the voice. Maybe my voice isn't fit. I don't know. I don't know who I'd voice.
You don't just take a bus?
I'm not very fond of public transportation, but it's mostly impatience. Can get more done if I start gaming here. Besides, my dad isn't usually home until late.
So what are you actually playing? Looks like that Final 14 Nights game I've seen some trailers for?
So does that mean that she's playing Final Fantasy 14, or is she just playing all Final Fantasy? So 1000's Wild, to spend one day with each would take a little under 3 years. Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. Yeah, I'm getting ready for the new expansion that will be coming out in December. Legally Distinct Final Fantasy 14. Okay, just a little bit of 14. It's more my dude's cup of tea, though. All that pre-expansion patch events are dropping soon, so I need to corner the market on materials. Oh, okay, it's definitely Final Fantasy 14. Definitely.
And all the other windows you have up?
Well, you need, like, to watch YouTube and stuff. Most of those are remoted in Windows to my home PC running mobile game emulators. Using bots to play gacha games. Oh, she's also a gacha addict. That's great. Have you checked out the in-game encyclopedia? You unlock entries for stuff as you play. The last time I tried, it broke. Oh no, not the ads! No! Dot. Ah! Dude. I don't feel bad. Like, I don't want to, like, bore people who actually do, like, pay for the subscription. But I don't know what to do, because it's, like, it's very, you know, story-based, so I don't want to, like, skip through for the people who haven't paid for stuff. So maybe I should just say, like, my unhinged stuff during the ad breaks? But I don't know. I don't know what to do. I mean, microplastics? I mean, my water bottle does have microplastics, probably. But yeah.
He has a small dick. He's like, and I'm proud of it. That's like being a Mets fan.
Was that one of the people that you were showing us for the VTuber fight over like if eggs smell? Was that guy? I think he sounds familiar. But yeah.
If I need your body, I'll fucking dick.
Okay, that.
Why do you come?
What are you? Okay, thank you for that, Asio. Thank you. But yeah, no. When I clicked on for like the Nephilim during like the kind of transition scene, the game crashed. So I figured I'm not gonna mess with it until I get back to the menu, and then I'll read all the codex and history stuff. Most of those are remoted to my home PC running multiple game emulators using bots to play gacha games. Wow, she's also a gacha addict. See, I relate. Again, relating to the slime. Of course, I've tried to quit now. I think I understood at least half of them. Mobile games are just phone games. Emulators, I guess, simulate a phone on a computer. Thanks for the heads up. I'll send it to Yamik. Thank you. And gachas are those games where you use in-game currency or real money to collect characters to do battle for you.
Sounds complicated.
Not once. Everything is set up. Also, if you like need the you can see it in the VOD too, if because I leave them up, and then this is also on YouTube. So, BB doing your gacha dailies. I had a dream like 2 days ago about like being able to pull in a super rare. Oh, it was torture to wake up and it's like I can never play gacha games again. I know I can't. I'd fall back into it. But yeah, no, I still dream about gacha games. Not once everything is set up. I usually focus on one game at a time, but let these bad boys go in the background, farming for XP or evolution materials. If they're playing a visual novel, I think they know what XP is.
More power to you, then.
Most of that is over my head, but I do game enough that I get the concepts. You don't know what XP is? Gabe, what is wrong with you? I'm only used to games where XP is awarded by direct fighting. Did my gacha stint with FGO. Oh, you also did FGO? Oh, and Azurlane. Yeah, no, I was addicted. I was addicted to FGO. I had like 49 I had 49 5 stars. I put too much time and money into that game. But if you roll other people's gacha, I've taken my phone. My friend still does gacha, and every once in a while, if she's over, I'll like take her phone, and it's like, hey, can I roll? And she's like, yeah, sure. But it doesn't scratch the itch the same way, you know? I'm only used to games where XP is rewarded by direct fighting. Seems like an over-complication to grind XP as an item, then assign the items to a character, though I see the benefits too. It's clear that she's an MMO and gacha addict, though. Nothing wrong with that. I put like almost 1,000 hours into the Star Wars MMO. There's nothing wrong with that. From what Sarah told me before, she's lucky that she's naturally smart, or her brain would probably be mush by now. Oof.
Anyways, I should go get the book for the assignment I came here for in the first place. I guess you haven't read yours yet, despite being called out this morning?
You would be correct.
Figured. Guess I'll figure out which one I want on my own. Nice talking to you. See you around.
Laters. Clover briefly waves as she spins back in her chair towards the computers. Nothing seems to phase her concentration when she's gaming, I guess. Right, now I should grab a book for my assignment. I lose myself in thought for a bit, trying to decide which one to pick. I notice that the main counter is now occupied by Ava. She's gonna be the one who could probably like give you advice on which ones to read, huh? Seems like she's already lost in a book, despite not having been there before. Despite not having been there before. I can't talk. Clover would wear one of those funny gamer shirts? Oh, for sure. Wonder where she was before. Considering her position now, she must help out the librarian after hours. I don't think I've ever seen her around campus without a book, so it shouldn't surprise me that she maximizes her time at the library. Still considering which of these 3 titles I should pick. I should ask Ava to get her opinion on things. Suddenly I hear Ava's voice from behind the counter. Gabe! Hey, Gabe! Turn my attention back towards her. She beckons me with her hand to come to the counter. I can't read. Have you decided which book you wanted? I actually have each of them here since I knew you'd be coming. How considerate. That must have been why she was where she was while I was with Clover. How very thoughtful of her. I see why you guys say that she's best girl. I mean, I did it for the whole class last week, too, so it's not just for you. Not like I like you or anything. We got this under it. Anyways, just let me know which one you like. She silently turns her face as she says this, like she said something embarrassing. Odd. And he doesn't notice because he's an anime protagonist.
Well, as a matter of fact, I haven't been able to make up my mind about which of these 3 books I should pick for the reading assignment. Which one did you happen to read?
Did she read She probably read all of them. Ava hesitates for a second, looking a little embarrassed, and in a somewhat small voice replies, I read all 3. Okay, I didn't expect that much dedication to reading, but it's C.S. Lewis! It's good stuff, man! Ava really must spend all of her free time in books then. I mean, they're not like... At least Screwtape Letters isn't like a long read.
Okay, that's even better. You should be the best person to ask for an unbiased opinion on each. Which do you think I would get the most out of?
Well, if you prefer allegorical fiction, then Screwtape Letters is an obvious choice. It follows the conversations between the higher and lesser demons through letters as they try to corrupt souls. During the story, you learn how to recognize and avoid the traps demons try to lay for us. It sounds like it could be an entertaining way to look at the faith through storytelling. I'm interested for sure. As for nonfiction, Mere Christianity is the bread and butter of shared Christian theology. It's a lighter take on apologetics than most people should... it's a lighter take on apologetics that most people should be able to grasp. It could be beneficial to see what things all Christians, whether Catholic or Protestant, have in common. And I know I've heard this title somewhere before, so it must be popular. Lastly, The Abolition of Man is a deeper dive into Christian theology that criticizes and warns about moral subjectivity, focusing on natural law arguments throughout. Moral subjectivity?
Natural law?
Oh yeah, you haven't gone through your if you haven't been to Catholic school, I guess you wouldn't really know the vocab.
Sorry, I'm not sure I understand what either of those mean.
Oh, well, natural law is a theological term that refers to why things are the way they are, through observation of nature and the world, as well as the truths extracted from such observations. And for moral subjectivity, also like moral relativism, is the thought that whatever is true to me might not be true to someone else. The opposite of this is moral objectivity, which states that morality is unchanging regardless of the subject or person, but is dependent instead on the objective situation. This is what Lewis argues in favor of. Don't worry if it's over your head. It doesn't come easy for everyone. Then again, if you want a challenge, it'll get you thinking for sure. Now this one seems like it has real substance. If I want to get a deep dive into some philosophically based theology, that might be a good start, even though it looks like it's about half the size of the other books. I bet that it'll take me just as long to comprehend as to read it because the subject matter is so dense. By the time she finishes the final book's explanation, Ava realizes how long and confidently she's been talking and blushes a bit. Anyway, just let me know which one you like. She did give me a lot of info on each book to think about, so which one should I pick? Oh. Okay, if I was in his shoes, because of what the assignment is, I'd go with Mere Christianity. Screwtape Letters is my favorite one to read, but Mere Christianity would probably be the easiest one to do for the assignment if you're gonna be, like, comparing and contrasting beliefs. So, to give him easier homework, I'm gonna go with Mere Christianity. Gotta do some grocery shopping. Good to meet you, Mimi. Have fun with the rest of the demo. Thank you for stopping by, comrade. I appreciate it. Love my bookworm, yeah. She's your best girl, right? Let's go with Mere Christianity.
I'll get Mere Christianity then.
It's good to reinforce the solid foundation, after all. Good choice. I think you'll like it. If you're into apologetics, I mean.
Oh, definitely. I mean, rather, I'm thinking of getting into it, since I haven't really taken my faith that seriously. I've heard good things about C.S. Lewis's works on the subject.
Well, hopefully this opens a few doors for you. If you have any apologetics questions, feel free to ask me anytime. Okay, I'm gonna say Ava and Clover are both better versions of me, but I think if they did a fusion dance and, like, made them 1,000 times less cool, that's me. That is, unless you want to ask Father John or Sister Talia, since I'm sure they're more wise and experienced as spiritual guides.
No, I'm sure your advice would be just fine. I'll keep you in mind if I have any questions. Thanks.
We're rats. We're the rats.
Thank you for the follow, Negative Primes. He grabs the book from under the table, scans a brand new library card, scans the books, and heads both to me.
Well, thanks. Pays off to be the new kid, huh?
Don't let it get to your head. It's not like I'm treating you any different than anyone else. We gotta do this under it.
Only kidding. Thanks for the help.
Ava, best girl. It seems like that is the agreed upon opinion, which I'm kind of leaning towards, to be honest. But yeah. While she's doing all this, I take the opportunity to get to know her a bit better.
So what kind of books do you normally read? Specifically, I guess. I know Clover suggested romance.
Ava cuts me off by dropping the book in front of me and clearing her throat. Arya's close second. That's the Daywalker. Guess that's a dangerous road to travel for her. Well, I like to dip my toes into many different genres, both fiction and non-fiction.
So, you could say you're a well-rounded jack of all trades.
And I'm so sorry I'm doing this voice. I wanted to, like a distinctive voice, and I'm bad at doing distinctive voices. So at least for our protagonist, I had to do something different, and they told me to just close my nose. You could say that, but I'm not a master of none. I take pride in the large varieties of books I read, not just the quantities.
Well, do you have any recommendations for me aside from my obligatory academic reading?
Ava thinks to herself for a bit, eyeing me for a second, then coming to a conclusion. Pick a genre. Ed? Oh.
Anything?
Yep, give me a genre, and I'll give you a few recommendations from each.
Alright, let me think. What am I in the mood for right now?
It's a pretty funny voice to kind of say. Don't need to apologize, you're all good? Okay, thanks. Romance, just freak her out. Romance is a good one to freak her out. But I'd be genuinely interested on what she has to recommend for fantasy. You know what? I'm interested in what she has for romance too. Why not? Let's freak her out.
I don't have much experience with romance books, and since Clover said you were reading one the other day...
That's the same what gets tense in her face. There's a surprisingly deeper shade of red. I'm honestly impressed, but I should stop.
Actually, never mind about that.
She relaxes a bit again, but she's still looking at me with more caution in her visage. Whoops, my bad. Should I ask for recommendations in other genres? What genre should I get a recommendation for? Wait, you can do it again? Why did you do it again? I kind of want to know, but I also don't want to. I don't want to freak her out. Okay, I'm gonna do fantasy. Maybe at some point I'll mess with her with the romance option. Thank you.
I haven't read a good fantasy book in a while. Give me something that will make me feel like I'm on a grand adventure.
Ava thinks for a moment, takes a deep breath, and then unloads with a handful of fantasy recommendations. Can't go wrong with The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, which is from a Catholic author, no less. Okay, she would get along well with my friend. It's my friend who's also a Catholic bookworm, who's very, 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 very into Lord of the Rings. Then there's the Narnia series by C.S. Lewis. Don't knock books for young adults, they can still be very relevant. And then lastly, a few personal favorites of mine, the Earthsea Cycle series, which starts with a Wizard of Earthsea and the first Dragonlance trilogy. Considering how long fantasy series usually are, I don't know if I'll ever have time for all of them. Maybe I'll just pick one or two. Should I ask for a recommendation in other genres? Oh, you could just keep on asking? Sure! Okay. I want to know.
I'm in the mood for innovation. Cool, strange things that can be around the corner. Maybe even some space and robots.
Ava thinks for a moment, takes a deep breath, and then unloads with a handful of sci-fi recommendations. Ooh, Asimov. I got a character named after him. Asimov is my go-to for sci-fi, so I'd go with a short story collection or two from him. Maybe I, Robot, or a general best of book. For modern sci-fi and even pseudo-religious philosophy, you could read, or you could try Ted Chiang's short story collections. He has some very unique ideas that often combine psychology, technology, and religion. Finally, I count dystopian novels as sci-fi, so if you haven't read 1984, Animal Farm or Brave New World, it would benefit you to do so. 1984 was probably the favorite book that I read in school. About half of these seem to be short story collections. Not that there's a problem with that. Sometimes if there's a point to be made, it should be short and sweet. Yeah. Should I ask for recommendations in other genres? Yes, I'm very curious. Typical high school reading list, yeah.
Have you gotten much into philosophy? I'm looking to broaden my horizons outside of just apologetics.
Ava thinks for a moment, takes a deep breath, and then unloads with a handful of philosophy recommendations. My personal favorite is G.K. Chesterton. He's also... was he the one who helped, Lewis not be atheist anymore? Am I remembering that properly? Pretty much all of the books are witty and religious, but also highly philosophical. Try Heretics or Orthodoxy first and follow up with The Everlasting Man, if you like his wit. For the heavy stuff, you can try Aristotle's Poetics and Ethics, Plato's Dialogues and Republic, or check out Augustine's Confessions. For more political philosophy, you can try The Federalist and Anti-Federalist Papers, The Gulag Archipelago by... I'm not going to try to read that. Or The Rights of Man by Thomas Paine. Really heavy stuff, but I guess I did ask. Chesterton was a convert, I think, from Anglicanism. Oh, wonder if she's actually read them all. I wouldn't put it past her, honestly. Should I ask for recommendations? We're doing this again! I need to know! Okay. Okay, no, okay, she can't... She just gets... She gets the same amount of embarrassed. Okay, we're done for now! That should be enough for now. Everything she recommended should last me a while, even if I start now. As we finish the current topic, I become aware of the fact that the whole time she was listing up books, she had an air of confidence beyond her natural demeanor. I think he was in the same group as J.R.R. Tolkien and C.S. Lewis, so he probably had a hand in it. Yeah, I know that they were all connected together. And when she realizes that I'm reading her face, her body tenses with her tail straight up behind her, but slowly retracts it into her normal pose. I guess her passion blinded her from her usual embarrassment. Inklings? No, he wasn't in that. Oh. She certainly doesn't seem to back down when she's... She certainly doesn't seem to back down when she's just with Clover, however. Maybe she's just not completely comfortable around me yet.
Well, thanks for the recommendations and the signed book. I appreciate all the help.
Sure thing, and you're welcome.
See you tomorrow!
Her treat for the library, give her a quick wave goodbye when she reciprocates. I still have some time to kill before dittos, so I might as well head back to the dorms and relax. I'll probably stop with this day, and then, I'll maybe pick this up on Monday. As I'm heading through the dorm hallways, I flip through my newly acquired book. I should be able to knock it out if I read 2 to 3 chapters each night, maybe more if it gets interesting. Observing the plain emptiness of the hallway, I'm suddenly filled with an intense longing. I know it would be different being away from home, but I'm already missing the security of being in my own house, my own room. Then I start thinking of all the people I've met so far. I wonder if this is all going to be worth it, if this is going to help me as I take my first steps into the real world. It really is different being here all alone. But at least I'm slowly digging a foothold into this place and making the most of it. Around the corner, I run into Damien, his face as tired as ever. Ah, Gabe! Yo!
Hey, how's it going?
Tolkien certainly read Chesterton as he quotes him in the essay on fairy stories? Ah! Damien stretches out and lets out a big yawn. Fine, just about to get ready for more homecoming planning committee stuff. Fantastic has entered the dorms.
Homecoming? We had it a lot earlier at my other school this year.
Oh gosh. Cats, you're drunk. That's not good. There's a character in this game that you'd probably very much like. She's a dragon. She's a muscle mommy. Yeah, go with anybody special?
Nah, I wasn't really that close romantically with anyone at that school. At least, I never got a chance to.
Oh, is the end game gonna be homecoming? Or nah? I'm reminded of Sophia, the buddy girl from my old school again. I wonder if anything could have ever happened between us. Certainly not at the public school. Well, there's always this school. Do you have your eye on anyone in class or outside? You can't go run with the dragon girl? Or you can't go wrong pun? I hadn't really thought much about it until now, but most of the people I've talked to since here have been girls. Cute girls at that. I've never really considered dating a monster girl either, for that matter. Trying cost. Yeah, so I guess I can see it. Okay, honestly, some of the ones that I've seen was mostly like him, to be honest. Not in game, but it will play a part in the story. It makes sense. I was taken to a place. Oh no, cats, no, cats, no. Again, not that I've thought of dating much in the first place. Thought it was bowling. Oh boy.
Well, it certainly isn't for a lack of girls around me, but I doubt anyone would be interested.
This is how we know this is fiction. He never considered dating a monster girl. Wouldn't be so sure. I've seen how some of the girls in class look at you. Don't underestimate your influence as a new student. Sure, newness is awkward for the new kid, but attention is attention. It's not like anyone's giving you any negative attention so far, right? You're gonna jinx it, bro.
I suppose not. Still, I think it might be a bit presumptuous for me to ask a girl to a dance this early.
Well, in that case, you're in luck. It's been a tradition at the school, for whatever reason, for the girls to ask the boys to the homecoming dance. What's that called? I know there's a name for it. My school didn't have it. Sadie Hawkins, thank you. This reminds me of that Sadie... Oh, okay, never mind. Sadie Hawkins dance traditions that I've heard about that use the same basic premise. I'll let you think about it for a couple of days, and if you find that you have anyone that you've got your eye on, I'm pretty connected. Might be able to put in a good word for you. What do you think?
Sure, I guess. There are a lot of cute girls in class, but I'd feel more comfortable after getting to know them a bit more first.
Okay, fair enough.
Anyways, not to change the subject or anything, but do you mind if I take you up on your offer from yesterday? I mean, asking questions about monster people?
Yeah, for sure, ask away. This will be a good opportunity to learn about my fellow classmates, so I should ask as many questions as I can while I can. Okay. What kind of monster person should I ask about? Let's just go through the list, I guess.
What do you know about harpies? I've heard that they can fly with their wings. Is that true?
Or they'd like the dodo. In some cases, yes. But it'd be a solo venture. The old stories about harpies picking up people are mostly myth as far as I know. They are, however, pretty light due to the bone densities in their arms and legs. This is what enables them to fly in the first place. Personality-wise, they can be a bit impulsive. Where do you think the term bird brain came from? Oof. Should ask about all of them, yeah. Doesn't mean they can't be highly intelligent. The contrary, many are. They just tend to come with attention deficit disorders by default. Oh yeah, it's like cats. Cats, you're a harpy. Apparently. It was a little further in the game. The point where you pick the girl and then the game crashed. So I came here instead. Oh. Why can't I delete my own messages? I have no idea. And yes, their claws are formidable weapons comparable to short daggers. So many keep them dulled for that reason.
Interesting. Good to know.
Besides that, the one you might be familiar with is pretty cheery, so you don't have to worry about any danger around her.
Haha, yeah, I've noticed. We're not worried about her, though. It's good inspiration to never get on her bad side.
Is there anything else I'd like to ask him about? Yeah, you were asking him about all of them. Love me a woman who can disembowel a mugger? Yeah, face.
How about Dragonkin? Are they all as fierce as Ren seems to be?
Honestly, I wouldn't blame you for that assumption, because most Dragonkin I've met seem like they have something to prove. However, there are some kinder, more gentle ones that completely break the stereotype. Ren certainly is a shining example of a fighting spirit, though. She takes advantage of the Dragonkin's natural strength and pushes it past its limit. It's likely that she'll be able to qualify for men's fighting leagues as an adult at this rate. Fun unrelated fact. Yes, they can bellow out smoke from their esophagus when they're riled up. It makes me wonder if there really were historical fire-breathing dragons that they somehow descended from. Is there anything else you'd like to ask about? Yes, we're going to ask about slime girls.
I've been curious about slime girls. I don't even know where to start with questions about their physiology, much less where to start with the rumors about them being aliens.
Yeah, they could be complicated people to piece together if you pardon the pun. Haha. They're probably the most versatile monster people I've met. They can eat and absorb nutrients by putting food and really anything with calories in any part of their body. Of course, they seem to be able to control this, so there's no risk of being digested yourself if you happen to come in physical contact with one. They seem to not really like the cold very much, but they also seem to be able to control their temperature too. Inside their bodies, they also have a solid core which hosts the control for their whole body. So like Legend of Zelda. Heart, brain, nerves, and whatever magic that keeps them together. Looking over a slime named Clover that I've overlooked before. They can also take on just about any shape, though if they aren't used to being in a shape, it can look kind of funny. You should ask Clover to show you a few funny head shapes of animals. She likes showing them off for laughs sometimes. This is all very interesting, but it doesn't answer the one thing I'd like to know.
So what of the rumors about them being from outer space? Is Clover a real-life alien?
I've heard the rumors too, but honestly, it's never been relevant enough for me to bother looking up. All evidence I've seen points to conspiracies surrounding Area 51 and scientists wanting to experiment on slime people for their regenerative properties. Who knows if any of it's true? If you ever do any research on the matter and find something tangible, let me know. Okay, we're going into succubi.
That might be a bit awkward to ask about succubi, but I'll get it out of the way. What's the relation with demons and sex, if any?
Yeah, it's a common conception to have about... Or misconception or just conception to have about them, considering their depictions in various fantasy works and old legends. The succubi you see walking among humans and monster kind are not demonic in nature, but have human natures completely. You have to keep in mind that demons, like angels, are completely spiritual by nature. Based actually knowing how angels work. Very few pieces of media actually acknowledge that. So to call something with a physical body a demon just doesn't make metaphysical sense. Some attribute their appearance to the same legend of the Nephilim that is said to have caused most of our variations, but nobody truly knows the answer. As for the sexual stuff, all I know is that succubi do have some unique qualities about them that can be related to that. For instance, when a succubus likes someone or even more strongly feels love or infatuation, they might produce a very sweet scent that some might find alluring. Yay for metaphysics in a video game, yeah! Thing is, usually only the object of affection is said to have the ability to smell it. Besides that, they do have the unique ability to influence dreams, their own and others.
Oi! Oi! No! Oi! No! Hey! No! Damn it!
Oh. Huh.
Huh, I wonder if that's why Ava reads all the time. Perhaps she is lucid dreaming in each of her novels' fantasy worlds. That must be nice.
That does sound interesting. Is there anything else? Yeah, we want to know about all of them.
Your father John told me that daywalkers like yourself don't like to be compared to vampires.
Succubus powers are so cool in this game? Yeah.
What's the connection there? Please forgive my ignorance.
No worries, man. I asked you to ask, and so I shall answer. As far as being compared to vampires, considering our similarities is understandable, so I'm not offended when someone has questions. For others, it might be tiresome to hear the same questions over and over, especially when many equate vampirism with being a daywalker.
Oh no!
At least they could have my pasta. Gonna have some pasta roll. You guys are in ad hell, I'm sorry. I feel like it's been forever since I had pasta. Gotta love it. If I ever make weird food noises, let me know. I don't want to be annoying. Okay. Oh gosh, not again, cats. Why are you always like... Why are you always... At least your coworkers helped you this time. Why does it always happen? I'm glad that you have good coworkers to keep you safe. I think you need it. Food noises. I'm trying not to make food noises. Did I make food noises? I'm sorry. Give me more soju. Oh no, not again. Okay, ad break. I think it's done. Okay. To start, how familiar are you with vampires?
Drink water, you dehydrated bitch!
Why? If you don't make them, then how we clip it? Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying not to, but if you are clipping like my food noises, I'm sorry. But to start, how familiar are you with vampires?
Honestly, not that much. Everything I know is through rumors and news articles I've read.
Oh, we're gonna get to learn about fake news. Yeah, our boy Cats can sing Sinatra pretty well.
There weren't any daywalkers at my previous schools or church, and frankly, I've never run into one in person until yesterday when I met two.
That's fair, considering how rare we are. Let's start from the beginning, then. The facts surrounding full-fledged vampires are veiled in mystery, so a lot of their origins come down to legends and a few modern public cases. According to vampiric legends, a human must pledge their soul to the devil, or another demon in an evil ritual, and then die immediately after. Of course, there's also the willingly giving into vampirism case, but in both possibilities, there aren't many public examples to examine.
So if they give up their soul or whatever at death, that basically means they're
dead. Possessed. The walking damned. Reprobates. It's all speculation, but the legends are true. But if the legends are true, then I would speculate so, and so does the church.
So, if a person turns into a vampire, they lose on their free will, just like that? No chance for redemption?
Yeah, if anything of the legends are true, then yes, full vampires would have to be considered 100% evil beings. I guess that makes sense. Like Sinatra a lot too? My name's actually a pun, because Frank is another word for honest. Oh, that's true. Wait, I think that's also Katz's name. Huh. Wait a minute. How did I never make that connection? Huh. Oh well. Again, if everything in the oh wait, okay. The church documents I've read say that vampires are the closest thing with physical bodies that you could consider demonic. This has to do with how they are supposedly created, which appears to include dying, effectively locking the state of their soul in place.
Okay, the legends I get, but in the end, we still aren't completely sure this is how one becomes a vampire?
Wish there were real church documents about vampires? There might be, honestly. Pretty much, the main problem is that very few public modern cases of vampirism don't tell us much. First of all, none of the ones who were captured ever speak of how they turn. It's like they're guarding some kind of shared dark secret. Some say it's part of their pact, though there's no evidence for it. Others say it's because they're feral, but they can speak on other matters too. Either way, it's just one thing they share in common. Secondly, only some of them have had evidence of those supposed rituals ever happening. Enough to have me convinced at least. Third, the evidence for vampirism transference comes from a single case where they just pieced together a recently turned vampire's journal entries. Seems there's a lot still unknown about vampires, but Damien seems pretty convinced of what he's learned about them. Considering Father John's trust in Damien, I'm going to assume that even though the church recognizes vampires evil, it has no problem with daywalkers. Whatever the case, I have no reason to believe disbelieve Damien or his sources. If I'm interested, maybe I'll check them out later myself.
Alright, so what are the actual differences between vampires and daywalkers?
Whereas vampires are said to be able to die from very little sun exposure, we daywalkers are a bit more hardy under the sun. Really hope the finished game explores the vampire lore a lot more. That could be interesting. Sun exposure can give us headaches, nausea, and even flu-like symptoms known as sun sickness if we stay out too long, however. Some of us are fully nocturnal for this reason, though it's kind of hard to fit into society that way. Well, to be fair, I think there are actual people who are fully nocturnal.
Oh, is that why you look so tired all the time? I figured the student council was just working you to death.
Nah, that's my fault. I get more done if I stay up all night and all day. I could still function due to the increase in vitality, but I am often tired. As if reminded by this fact, David stretches and lets out a big yawn. Monster lore is one of the big focuses in this game. Yeah, no, I think it adds an interesting universe. Our only other curses that were basically carnivores. Animal blood works too, but it's not necessary. We could eat and drink other things. It's just not as nourishing, and even just unappealing. Concerning their diet, I've only heard rumors about them drinking human blood too. If I'm going to ask about it, now's a better time than ever.
What about human blood?
Damien grins at the question, clearly amused by it, or perhaps in anticipation of what my reaction will be. We can drink it, but don't worry, we don't need human blood to survive. There are only two reasons a daywalker would ever do that, for taste and for practicality. For every ounce of human blood we drink, we can stay out in the sun for 24 hours. Oh, so that's probably going to come up in the story at some point, right? It also gives us a little boost. Something to the effect of a bunch of caffeine or a small dose of adrenaline for about an hour per ounce. I must be reacting with some kind of disgust because Damien feels the need to reassure me about it. Seeing your reaction to this information, it's clear that you're uncomfortable with the idea, but don't fret. Not every daywalker likes the idea of drinking human blood. Some of us go our whole lives without drinking a single drop. What about the blood of Christ? Does that count? I wish the bunny girl would come back into the game too. I know Hasio was saying that. But for those that want or need to partake for medical reasons, there is a system set up among blood donation centers to regulate its control. There are blood shortages and blood banks everywhere, after all, so it's an elective service that's highly rationed. Expensive too. I seem to remember reading an article some time ago about a group of daywalkers that would steal from blood banks, though they were quickly dealt with. Damien's been snacking on his classmates in order to do the work of the entire student council single-handedly. That seems to be what's implied. Back then, I thought that daywalkers, like vampires, had to drink human blood to survive. I almost pitied them for it, but with a healthy dose of fear. Still, even if they don't have to live off of human blood, it still makes me uncomfortable with the fact that they can, just a little less now than before. Other than that, we all have increased vitality and a high resistance to disease, though nothing close to immortality. You wouldn't believe the amount of slime questions that have been asked. Well, you might, but the percentage that are just, can you eat them is vast. That's funny. We're also pretty good at concealing our presence. If we don't want to be found, it's hard to find us.
That sure is a lot to take in. Thanks for taking the time to explain it all.
Is there anything else I'd like to ask him about? I think that's all of them.
I think I'm good on questions for now. If I have anything else for you, I'll ask you later.
I think that was productive and fairly enlightening. Hopefully I asked all the questions I need to avoid any future misunderstandings. Either way, I can always come back to him again and ask more specific questions I have concerns about. Well, it's about time I get going. I need to scarf down some food before the meeting. Good luck out there!
Yeah, thanks. You too, I guess.
David resumes at his steady pace in the hall, waving one hand into the air behind him as is Pharrell. I wave back in the same manner despite him not being able to see me. I notice the futility of doing so too late. Thinking back at my conversation with Damien, wondering to myself if I really do have feelings for any of the girls in my class. Pretty much all of them are friendly towards me. If any of them were to have a crush on me, then that'd be icing on the cake. Did I look out here with not only friends, but potential girlfriend material too? I shouldn't get too full of myself. It's better to remain humble. Not here to date anyone necessarily. I never really dated anyone too seriously in the past either, so it's not like I got any real experience. At least here I won't have any racial problems to deal with. Everyone seems to get along just fine, regardless of their human or monster status. It's just better for me to focus on friendships for now. Something blossoms naturally from that. That's fine by me. That's the way things should be, shouldn't they? Dating should be with a good friend who you share many common interests with, aside from the obvious physical attraction, right? Yeah. Putting that aside for now, I better get started on the book so I can finish by next Monday. Okay. Save. Oh, okay. Now it's okay. Huh. Interesting. Oh, automatic. Oh. Okay. Okay, now I know what these mean. Oh. Oh, you're a patron? Nice. Okay. Oh. Okay. I think I'll probably call it a night for this one. Oh, not back. Don't actually remember how to get back. Oh, main menu. There we go. See, I haven't said sport. I already saved it, so we're good. My throat does kind of hurt now. That's fine. So far, I'm having fun with the game. I'm looking forward to checking out more of it. I'll probably continue on Monday.
Where the rats?
Thank you for the follow-up. I appreciate it. I'll probably continue on Monday and check out some more. Who's streaming?
Where the rats? Where the rats?
Thank you for the follow-up. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I need to figure out who can I raid. Rico's doing stuff. You didn't see it. This is the girl that we thought that you'd like cats. She's the sports one. And she's tall. Yeah. I'll hopefully see you guys another time. But good night, and thanks for stopping by. Okay, let me figure out my raid now. Raid brats. Yeah, let's do Rico. I'll do that. Looks like they're doing Mario Party. That should be interesting. Okay, got it. Go on. Now I can eat my pasta. Oh, yeah. Boy. Okay, I think we got it all together. Hopefully see you guys next time. And we'll continue the game on Monday night. Maybe 7:30 again, maybe like 6. We'll see. Hope you enjoy.
Jockey.
What a way to end. What a way to end. See you guys.